Oh, oh, do we have liveness? As opposed to Leibniz, which I think is like a kind of biscuit or chocolate or something. It is too warm for these shenanigans, and yet I'm doing them anyway. And the universe can fight me, and that one guy from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and also a P, because I have my memes, goddammit. It's too warm. Luckily, I have a bottle of water that was chilling in the literally chilling in the freezer for a while. Didn't get very cold, though. Helpful. Might as well just open with face cam, because I'm not actually going to do my face on this stream, because it's so warm that I'm shirtless. But I'm at least gonna do the tradition of the Lisbon lampshade. When you have mock exams to study for, but Tess is life, I am absolutely life. How dare you be doing mock exams? I did all of mine. What's your excuse? Oh wait, you are a young bab. You still have your whole life ahead of you. And here's me, nearly 21, on death's door. Labcam, the greatest. Good evening to you too, Anton. And I'm sure I could pronounce 10 million different words that contain that certain letter from the Danish alphabet, and you'd tell me that I said all of them wrong even if I didn't, because you're Danish, hello. I don't know what I'm even thinking. Like, is it even pronounced the same as it is in Norwegian? And you know which letter I'm talking about, because none of the others have this level of question mark about them. Why am I still talking? I'm just blabbing into the ethersphere. But either way, good evening. Did I mention it's warm in the UK at the moment? Like, other countries, they can do... yes, I am here, by the way. So, other countries, they could do what... Yes, that's the letter. Yes. Which, to me, that's either or oi. But then whenever I say that, you tell me I'm wrong. Anyway... So, other countries, they could do warm. They're equipped to do warm. The UK, it rains a lot, but then when it's warm, it's so humid that it feels like it's super warm, and then everybody dies. The UK can't handle the heat. Proof? I'm dying. That was my little speech there that I have given. Should I be a bit less rambly and a bit more start the gamey, because... As it is, I had to do some very fancy finagling to make sure that... Well, I'm glad you think so this time, Anton, because you are impossible to please. Anyway, I had to do some really fancy finagling to make sure that I actually could stream this game, and, like, last week I didn't realise I would have any problems until I started streaming Lisbon Lampshade and Total T. I didn't realise that this game would be a bitch to stream until I tried streaming it last week, and then I realised, oh, for some reason, showing it on OBS makes the game window freeze and it doesn't work. So I've had to, like, at the time I just gave up and didn't bother trying to find a workaround. Well, in the intervening time, I did work out that, hey, I could just screen region it using OBS. So you have a little bit of overlap with my desktop, and if I move the game window at all... Hello, Jamie. If I move the game window at all, by the way, how is the game volume? If I move the window, it will stop existing and you will be able to see what's going on in the background behind it. So I need to make sure the game window doesn't move. But, that aside, I will say, I don't know how loud the game's coming through. Like, let me know if it's a good volume, with this game especially, because when I was doing my Let's Play of it, and I meant to mention this at some point, and I never actually got around to it, but this game, I love it in so many different ways, but the soundtrack is of such inconsistent volume throughout the entire game, and it's kind of, like, you can't really tell in my Let's Play because I did do what I could to equalize it in post. You know? But it's sofa sue. Anyway, I'm just going to have a swig of water. Hail hydration, yo. Not sponsored. Not sponsored by water. See, that's the thing. At the moment, like, it's really quiet, but then it'll be loud, then it'll be quiet again. So I'll drop it down to 10% for the moment. Sofa Sue, as opposed to... Oh, actually, that reminds me of a theory that I had. So, just while I'm here, I need to go into speedrun options and... yeah, that'll be fine. Just because I'm going to go for the achievement for beating the whole game in 5 hours, which means that I'm doing, like, the full entire... Please do, Total T, please do. So... I'm going to be doing full story mode, but I am skipping through the story, because that's what you need to do for the achievement, I believe. So, full game, but everything's gonna be, like, full game, but every time there's the game, it gets faster. So don't even try reading any of the text, you won't be able to. But spoilers are going to abound, because I've played this game before, so I'm assuming that everyone else is familiar with the story. So, also I'm not touching any buttons, I've just got it going at high speed, just so that, like I said, I'm going for the 100% in under 5 hours achievement, so it's got everything going at high speed apart from the game itself. Also, like, is it still too loud? Do let me know. Salatin, good evening. Do, like, let me know how's the audio so I can fix it before it gets too out of hand. But, I did, as part of my university stuff, I did actually do, like, a short, like, 7-minute-ish sort of, like, I did a scene from this game, but live action. And I've shown it to Europe Scalaway and a couple of my other friends, and I'm still not 100% sure whether I want to make it public, but if you want me to release it publicly, then say so. And also, I'm also, like, either way, I'm going to wait until I have my mark back from university before I actually do release it, but if there is interest for it, then I will release it. That there is a scene where a character burns some muffins, then has an existential crisis about love, and I made a short film about it. Yay! Also, there's still the documentary about Europe Scalaway, which I will release once I have my mark back for that. But the Even the Ocean one I'm sort of in two minds about, because, like, everyone tells me that it's good, but my teacher for that module was an arsehole, so I don't really have high hopes for how well I did. So I don't know. Anyway, the game gets very good after that. Okay, there's so much support for releasing it. Get off the dang roof. Well, no, I'm going to keep crossing the bridge, and the bridge totally won't. Like, this will make no sense to people who aren't familiar with the story. So, just rest assured. Total T, must you bring curses upon us? Oh, you see, Lossie, you're hyping it up so much, and I'm just like, is it really that good? Did I just sump a whiff? Yeah, the shield, the toilet. So, funny story. When I was actually making the, Even the Ocean live action thing, so Cassidy there, she just died. I didn't actually brief either of my actors that what was happening was in the wake of Cassidy's funeral, so they didn't know that one of the very important characters had died. Haha. Also, I do wonder, I think OBS is outputting at a cool 30 frames a second. Yeah, it does appear to be. The shield, the toilet, the walk, the magician. Still not gonna let go of that, and I approve. But yeah, see, the game is actually running at 60 frames a second, but OBS is only doing 30. And when I did my Let's Play of it, funnily enough, when I did my Let's Play, that was also in 30 frames a second. Joth, good evening, and hello to you. And in fact, Joth, you've seen my scene from this game as well that I did for my film thing. Yeah, I showed that to you. Okay, so yeah, some friends are here. Trying to catch a ditto. I send you good vibes. Also, it's fun little thing that... Okay, first of all, when I was doing my Let's Play, the recording software that I use isn't OBS, and I suppose I could have recorded it at 60 frames a second if I'd used OBS in hindsight, but hindsight is 420. But the stuff that I use sort of slows my computer down, so it ended up running at 30 frames a second regardless. So that's how the Let's Play ended up. One of the few Let's Plays on YouTube that's of this game, or I think. And yet it's still underrepresented. Well, anyway. The other thing I was going to say is, weird thing with this game. The idea is that you sort of side hop back and forth. Like, you could climb up a wall and, like, jump against the wall repeatedly to climb up. But the thing is, weirdly enough, if you jump back and forth between two walls, like, if you wall jump as opposed to just jump up the same wall, then that's actually a tiny bit faster. Also, for people who aren't aware, so this game's whole gimmick is it's a platformer without a health bar, and that bar along the bottom, the more, like, the closest you can get to quote-unquote full health is when, like, the blue and the green, like, when the line between the two is perfectly in the middle. See, I always thought that the blue energy was blue, but the game refers to it as green. So, you know. Clearly we should call it Roiga Groiga Mifloiga, and just assume that that's perfect Danish. And yes, that was me taking the piss, so calm down. But, so, with the energies here, like, with the bar at the bottom of the screen, the closer that is to being full of blue or green or light or whatever, the higher we can jump, but the slower we move. And the more full it is of purple, the faster we move, but the less high we can jump. So, that's a really cool gimmick, and I feel like the developers of this game deserve so much more credit than they got for coming up with it. So, just worth considering. Hello, bonjour, oui oui, let's wed. Oui oui. French is a funny language. I can say that because I'm related to the French people. Les people françaises. And now we wait for this cutscene to end. The bottom but it changes if you... I think on Steam it is fairly expensive, but like not like unreasonably expensive. It's just, I think, off the top of my head, I think it's about £15. But that's because it is a pretty big game, to be fair. Like, I'm sort of running through it at fairly high speed, but if you're playing it at regular speed, it is a really substantial game. So, yeah, there you go, $15, that roughly equivalent in English as well. So, with a bar along the bottom, anything that's coloured purple will fill me up on purple, anything that's coloured blue or green will fill me up on blue or green, and obviously the more green I have, the higher I jump, slower I move, and so basically light energy is vertical, yeah, and then purple energy is horizontal. That's the best way of thinking about it. Yara, you are the one who has the breakdown, and there is a coffin. Knees. And then there's you. And then you. And then you. Yeah, as from what I've heard rumours that the Steam Summer Sale is going to start either today or tomorrow and then last until the 5th of July. But I don't know if that's for certain, that's just what I heard. As I said, the story of this game is actually super compelling. Like, it's got really good, like, transgender representation, non-binary representation. It's... Yes, love, love, peace, peace. That's actually a really good way of putting it, because the characters of this game, really good representative of so many things. So, we have Mayor Bigugs with his turd hair, there's Gangnam Style on the left, we play as Aleph. It's never formally confirmed that she's, like... I think you can project onto her whether or not she's transgender. I think there is enough ambiguity there for it to be, like, you can do whatever. Cool beans. So, tomorrow, probably, maybe. See, that's what I was going for, Total T. I actually know the words to it, but every now and then I am inclined to do the whole, you. In fact, I have seen a YouTube poop of Steven Universe, where I don't remember the context, but it involves Yellow Diamond going, yo. The number of times I did that in my Let's Play, well, actually it was like twice, but pick the place that I already am, and then go there, on the train. Anyway, hello, Philly G. You're a person who exists, and I say to you, good evening. I do want to reiterate, the story is so much easier to follow, but I've got the speedrunning settings on just so I can get through the game in under 5 hours and get the achievement. Hopefully, because it's a bigger game, it's got a more generous, like, threshold, like, complete the game 100% in under 5 hours for the achievement, which is what I'm going for. That should be, like, it should be less strict than the Anodyne one for 3 hours, because that's a smaller game. So there's, like, margins for errors and stuff. So I think the 5 hour limit is taking into account not having the speedrunning settings on, so it should give me plenty of time for whatever. Do I actually need to go back in here? Do I? Okay. Then yes. I can... Thing is, though, can I go out yet? I've not really been following the story all that clearly, so... Right, that's one thing that I never actually bothered learning to do in my original playthrough of the game. You can, in fact, bring up a little mini-map of the continent that you're on to let you know where you should be going. Anyway, I'm going to start just completely at random with Dream Dram Canyon. Just because I can. It's so pretty here, and there is a cliff in the background that looks like a nose. I don't remember where it is, though. But, yeah, there it is. But anyway, I'm glad you're in a good mood, Total T. Also, Total T, voted the YSC. Yay, the game stopped for a second. It's because I mentioned the YSC, how dare I. So, I know that I've kind of been an arse with making the YSC happen, but, like, we are missing, like, half the votes at this point, and I don't blame anyone because I've been taking so long to get the things done, and if you did, I haven't received them. But that's okay. Like, I'm not holding it against anyone, because, like, I've been really sloppy with getting this edition together. I'm getting really lethargic with the contest as a whole, just because, like, to be honest, like, I've been getting bored with managing it, but that doesn't mean I've given up on it. And I'm glad that it hasn't forgotten that. Could someone explain it better than I can? Just message me on whatever platform, you know. I would advise Discord or Twitter, because those don't filter out, what should I do, Hickeys? They don't filter out messages with links in them, whereas YouTube does, so... Aww. References. Now, technically, we are supposed to go down from here and talk to this character called Didney, and then he tells you, oh, hey, go bounce on that mushroom 5 times and then run into the pod, and then that'll give you access to the red emerald marble, which lets you walk on those dreams, which otherwise you can't do, but I already need to do that, so speedrunning tactics. Also, we're sort of hopped up on light energy at the moment, so there we go. Do it for your lover, do it for your lover, crap your pants and do it for your lover. What? I love how that's where my brain went with that. Anyway, Dream Jam Canyon Amusement Park, and by amusement park I mean, power plant. Yeah, I at this point I'd prefer Discord, just because that's where everyone else is, but if you don't have it, that's fine. Yeah, yes, do listen to any strangers if they tell you to bounce on mushrooms and then trip. Fun times. So anyway, the only sort of limitations with YSC is the singer, and, like, the song has to be... Well, right. The song has to not have been in Eurovision or Junior Eurovision ever. Like, national finalists are fine, but not actual competitors. Ben, how is you? But also, like, the artist has to have some connection to the country that you're sending it for, and also, the song can't have been in the YSC before, and what is the other stipulation? The artist has to have some connection to the country you're sending them for. I think that's everything. Could someone else confirm? Now, is this a bubble wall? It is a bubble wall. Okay. And then alley hoop. I play basketball with an alligator. I'm just going to leave that thought there. Oh yes. So here's a random thing that I said in actually, before I say that, the transitions between rooms are usually a really smooth fade to black, but I've got speedrun settings on, so it's an instant cut instead to save you all them important frames. So, in the episode of Spyro that I released today, I actually recorded it yesterday, so... Oh, also speedrunning hacks. I died, because I meant to jump down the wall and I jumped up instead. Legit the first time I have died in this game. That's okay, it's 'cause I'm sort of too hot to focus. But, anyway. Yeah. I actually recorded today's part of Spyro yesterday, and the next part as well, also yesterday. And I just randomly opened the episode with, would you rather have legs for knees or fight a horse-sized chicken? I actually kind of want to get that discussion going in the chat now. Just for, you know, just for general... I just want to know how people respond to a question that dumb. And you're welcome to ask for clarification on what I mean by each of the stipulatives. Yep, originally it was supposed to be you can't send a song that's been in a YSC national final before, but then people did it anyway, and people... legs. So, like, instead of a knee, you just have, like, a second... Like, I want to say your leg would be like Smokey Quartz's arm, where it splits into 2 arms at the elbow, but like that, but with your leg and the knee. So Laura is on Team Horse-Sized Chicken. This is vital knowledge for the upcoming chicken war, where some of us will have knees and some of us won't. Yeah, so instead of a fully like, you could still bend your leg, but there's just this extra leg as well. You'd be relegated to wearing skirts and shorts for the rest of your life. The alternative is fighting a horse-sized chicken. I'm a madman. Like, mad, M''N. Madman. Madman Fury Road. Oh good, it's going to go poof. It went poof. I got poofed, I was bubbled, and then it got poofed. Hang on a minute, I'm sort of currently in a place of high stress, but when I leave the gas, I will check the chat. We'll go there for a song to send to the XYC, then I realised it was by an English artist. That there are countries that can borrow from the UK, you left neft. You left neft. You left neft. Those aren't words. I mean, left is a word, and you is a word, but I'm not entirely sure if a neft is. I bumped too quickly. You see, when I came up with the question, I wasn't really thinking properly, but I feel like I'd be more inclined towards the leg knees, because it would be impractical but cool. You could do stuff with it. I mean, you don't have to rep fronts, and I mean, then again, if you win, then you could have a second country for one edition. I'm doing such a good job speedrunning this game whilst also reading the chat. I'm such a good boy. Hey, at least I can actually see the chat on the same screen. Whereas with my previous streams recently, I've not even been looking at the chat on the same screen. So hang on a minute. So I mean, I think it would add up to one knee altogether, because like you'd have half a knee but then another half knee, as opposed to a dong knee who is Vietnamese. I'm assuming it's pronounced dong knee. I mean, he is like Lebanese, I guess, so yes, Sunmu can borrow from Italy, and actually has done it. In fact, Sunmu has won with a song borrowed from Italy before, so you could do. And it like, real talk, it would be nice to have like a regular representative for Sunmu, just because we like Sunmu. I mean, I do allow some sort of creative stretches in terms of what's allowed for which country, so it's like it's not sort of hard and fast and bippity boppity boo, but you know, just as long as you don't take the piss, all is healthy and kale. And to reiterate, a horse-sized chicken would be terrifying. It wouldn't listen to reason. Yeah, also, technically, Andorra can also borrow from France, which is just like a quirk of online song contests, I guess. I like how it looks like Laura's saying, yes, I can make a ditto appear, and I'm just here like, woodly, woodly, woodly. Which sounds like a really sort of racist kind of ukulele banjo-kazooie impersonation of an Indian person, and I apologize unrefusedly. Ha. Yeah, Andorra can borrow from France, even though that makes no sense, but I mean, we just roll with the punches. Oh my goodness, Ben is being a fourth. A fourth! You know, a fourth, as opposed to a floorwolf. Good evening, Justs, I'm assuming. I pressed it to jump, and I badlied. Boink, boink. But yes, good evening. People are indeed here. We out here. A flool. Yes, I will ride all of your lives for 10 cents and a cucumber. Boink, boink. Because, of course. I would say the original heartbeat. I'm not sure if it's the original heartbeat, but yes. Fun fact, I wasn't actually made aware of it until quite a while afterwards, but at least one of, it was either Can Lin or Casey Smith, but one of them actually, I think it was Can Lin, actually did see my review of their song back in the day. So that was pretty cool. Alas, I was not made aware of it until it was too late. But still. And to be fair, much as I like Justus' version, I do actually prefer Can Lin and Case. That one. And now, whoa, we're gonna suffer. Because this is just the suffering chamber, where I think it just demonstrates that as long as you're in one type of gas, you can't die from the other element. Yeah. And you know what, totally, I entirely support this wholeheartedly. Oh, BNT watches my reviews every year for the 2 years that I've reviewed there. I didn't realise that Heartbeat was Yorkshire exclusive, excuse you. But yes, BNT actually does watch my reviews, and I am so, like, I am shook and woke and very pleased. Because they're like, oh yes, we watch everything that people say about our songs because we want to know stuff. And I'm like, you know what, that is actually completely fair. And so they do. And what does who mean with what? I sort of... Oh, damn it. But yes, BNT are legitness. Like, they are, in the words of Sia, the greatest here tonight. They are the grapes. They are the dog's bollocks, the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, and the horse's eggs. Which, I guess, could also be construed as a euphemism for testicles. Well, whatever. But, yeah, I absolutely agree, though. Like, Bulgaria are totally gonna win before the end of this decade. And for that matter, like, low-key, my current headcanon is that at the moment, the big race of 2018 is gonna be between the UK and Bulgaria. A man can dream. I can dream, Harold. You are a chair. I am a chair. Legs, eggs. By the way, I did once Google eggs with legs. Please do this. Do a Google image search for eggs with legs. You will have a fantastic time. Or nightmares, one of the two. Also, those two pods there might smash your lens if you're not paying attention. Oh, you know, but version exclusives. Pokemon London and Pokemon Yorkshire. By the way, this game technically does have a Twitter account, so if someone were to tweet at them, they might know that I'm streaming, but I'm not telling you to do that. Please don't do that. Unless you want to do that, that's entirely your prerogative. Oh, I actually have to walk. I was all prepared to take a drink of water. Yeah, You're welcome, Anton. Yeah, I agree that, like, a couple of reasons why Russia might be a one to watch next year. I think that they might not pick Yulia Samoylova in the end. It'd be nice if they did keep their promise, but we shall see. But, like, realistically, I mean, I'm just saying, Ukraine took a year out and then returned and won. Portugal took a year out and then returned and won. Russia took a year out and then returned. Just saying. But I want it to be between the UK and Bulgaria and San Marino. Please don't withdraw San Marino. We love you. And then Yara appears, and then... I think this is the scene... No, it's not. It's the next one. Okay. Okay, it's not this one. Okay. After the next dungeon, then is the scene with Yara that I made the short film about. I swear, if I don't get the achievement for completing the game in 5 hours, it will be because I keep messing up these menus. And that'll be the only reason. Oh yeah, I actually need to report to the, because I'm not paying attention to the dialogue boxes that I can't even read because they're going too quickly. Wait, hang on, what? What do I need to do? Wait. Oh my god, Total T. You did not. Do I have to go to the library? I feel like this might be required, but I did it anyway in my first run, so I didn't know. Yeah, I do hope so, because, like, UK, low-key underrated this year. But, like, 15th place, we're proud enough of it. Iceland, honestly, I don't know what Iceland are doing wrong at the moment, because, like, they've been doing, like, they sent really good songs, and then didn't do very well, and then in 2008, something magically changed, and they started doing well no matter what they sent, and then 2015, it sort of all broke for them. I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, Total T. But yeah, I would love to see Moldova win as well, because, like, they, like, third this year. Like, I'm still not over that, but, like, in a good way, like, I'm really happy for them, because, like, it shows that they can do the thing. We believe in them. I believe in you. I believe in Steve. In Steve! Oh yeah, in Steve, oh yeah, grab the glory all the way to victory. all the way. Ireland, please don't send that to anything. Now, I will say, I didn't hate Iceland 2015. I thought it was, like, okay. It was definitely better than the song that came second in the national final that year, but still. Also, strange macaroon things. Yay. They go boing. And now we talk to a guy. He looks like an axolotl. That worked. He doesn't, was he? Well, yeah. Well, Salison, trying to think what the best way of doing this is. If you, like, trying to think what's the best way of giving you the Discord, like, address? Because you just need to follow the Discord address and then you'll be part of the server. The sort of the YSC and Friends server. Yeah, that was just my attempt at replicating the fact that the game has, the song rather, has like voices that are stuttery buttery. Anyway, this area especially is like really important because we have a transgender, at the very least non-binary couple. Because Bay here is a non-binary character. I think, who else? And the game crashed again. What's her name? Lopez as well, one of Alif's colleagues, which we don't know very well because I've sort of been blasting through the dialogue in a one-horse open sleigh, but Lopez is also non-binary, so there's so much representation in this game, and it's glorious. And I absolutely agree, for so many reasons, Gothenburg should have hosted 2016, because I'm more familiar with Gothenburg, and also, Gothenburg doesn't shut down at 10 PM. And also, for that matter, Sweden's hosted 6 times, twice in Malmö, twice in Stockholm, once in Gothenburg, and then a 3rd time in Stockholm. Makes perfect sense. Knees. Anyway, there is actually a really sort of touching, heartfelt drama in this area. Also, is the game music audible, by the way? Because I am worried about that. But, like, this area, like, it's high drama, and I'm sort of skipping through all of it because speedrunning strategy. It hurts my soul, because I had a shower today, and it's still too hot to exist, so I'm probably going to need another one tomorrow, and apparently showering too often is bad for your body. And in some areas it is rather quiet, so, like, here might be a bit better, because, as I said, it is very inconsistent, so I think sound effects are really a good barometer to judge it by, mostly, so I'll base, like, I will change the settings if people, like, if you can't hear the music now, then I will change the settings. Like, it's not really that big of a deal, but, you know. Good vibes are being sent in your general direction. I don't know, I don't follow SVT. I haven't done for centuries. Ugh. I don't know why that made me giggle, but there you go. Sweden are a country that exists. Take that out of context and eat it. Twee! So, how's the music here? Because the music here is more woof, you know? See, I've done that thing where I've been streaming for a while, and I've had constant sort of commentary diarrhea, and it's all been good and lovely, and I've reached a certain wall, and now I'm like, nah, I can no longer words. And even though that wasn't directed at me, I still kind of want to... Okay, thank you, Anton. I kind of want to get a PO box, even though no one has ever indicated that they ever want to send me anything, apart from... I mean, Total T, you did threaten to get me something on Steam, so... That's the thing. Also, I'm oversaturated on purple, so I can run, but I need to balance my life. Apples. apples. Sort of like if you spell the word attic. A TT, I see. Haha. I'm still not over that. It's been how many weeks now, and I'm still not over that. You kids and your Gen 7s. I think that's Gen 7. Like, I fell off the hype train partway through Gen 6, so I don't know anything about the Gen 7 Pokemon at all. I'm just sort of still here like, yeah, when Sun and Moon come out, I'm going to be Team Rowlet and Litten, because I will get both, but, yeah. What, as in, you have got me stuff already? Because if so, Lozzie, you are a pancake and you are adorable. Why are you so lovely? What did the world do to deserve your Upscale 8? And I kind of do take offense that Gen 6 is so forgettable, because it's like, this is the first time that they've based a region on Europe and they've made it kind of meh. Like, true facts though. Even though Popplio is my third choice, it is my third choice as opposed to my last choice. Because, like, I don't hate Popplio, because there's just this assumption that, oh my god, why does everyone hate Popplio? I don't. It's just I like the other two more. But I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh yeah, so you have the first 4 regions or so that are based on regions of Japan. That's fair enough, because it's Pokemon. But then you got Gen 5, which was a really... I feel like Black and White 1 were the... I feel like for me, that was Pokemon's peak. And... well, I will say, people call it Unova or whatever. I pronounced it Unova, and I can't be persuaded otherwise. So, Gen 5 is really good. And I admit, Kalos, yeah, it's pretty, but the whole thing, like, the whole package is really sort of bland and boring. So, of course, the region based on America is really good and fun. But, like, the one based on Europe is just meh. Wow. Rude, Denmark. To be fair, Heart Gold, Soul Silver were really good, and that was the time that I properly got into Gen 2, or the Gen 2, like, story and stuff. My god, Lozzie, you're so precious! But, yeah. Funny thing. So, I've never actually played Soul Silver, but I got Heart Gold for my birthday, like, the year it came out. And I got, like, but my first encounter with Gen 2 was actually Pokemon Silver. And, but I only have ever bothered with Heart Gold for some reason. And so, the weird thing is, I picked Chikorita as my starter, and, like, you know, raised it up into a Meganium and did well with it. And the weird thing is, like, about 10 days after I started the game, so I was already most of the way through at that point. I approve already, Tristan, good evening. Like, so I got most of the way through the game, and then just randomly out of nowhere, I started hating the Pokemon Chikorita. I don't know why, like, Bayleaf is fine, Meganium is fine, just Chikorita, something about its design just really pisses me off, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I just realised that you said a thing, and I should probably read the first half. So for some reason, feeling that Bulgaria have a bit of a downfall next year, I suppose that is a fair assumption. I feel like BNT, I feel like they're riding high, but that is a possibility, so, you know, props for acknowledging that, I guess. But yeah, I think the worst thing about Christian's performance was the handapants, as I've been calling them, because it just looks like his hands were wearing underwear. But, I mean, he still made it work, and, like, I'm not going to say, oh, Bulgaria, real winner, but, like, it was my winner. And that's the same thing. But yeah, Bulgaria, as long as they stay humble, I think they're going to go quite a long way. Like, they're going to be the Miles Tails Prower of the Eurovision world. By which I mean, in about 15 years, there's going to be, like, an equivalent to the furry boom of the 90s, except people are going to start identifying as Bulgaria. Which is not bad, because Bulgaria is good. Bulgaria deserves the recognition. Though my mother and I both agree. Say what you will about Sweden, but how did it come 5th? Like, top 10 I could probably live with because it's Sweden, but 5th? Really? For that? Really? Well, whatever. It's happened and we can't change that. So, how is everybody's noses this evening, by the way? Which sounds like a really suspicious thing to us. Like, you might be wondering why I've asked you all to gather here today. Well, how are your noses? And then you all just turn around and be like, oh my god, he stole our noses! I don't know where this train of thought came from. Well, how did they come 5th last year, for that matter? See, I had a chikorita, named him Theodore. He grew up into a respectable Meganium, and I'm okay with that. I just don't like chikoritas, and I don't know why. Yeah. Nose. Wonk. Look out, he's got a nose. My nose is probably the proportional smallest part of my body, and this makes me sad. Like, it sounds like I'm... No, Lozzie, of course not. Now, it sounds like I'm setting up for a dirty joke, but, like... The shadow knows. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm not even trying to be filthy. It's just... My nose disappoints me, because, like... You know how... With Red Nose Day in the UK, they have those little, like, decorative red noses that you can put on your face and wear? And, like, I believe I got mine in one of the last years where they made them out of foam instead of these weird plastic ones that you get now. And it wouldn't stay on my nose. Also, my nose is prone to itching sometimes in unpleasant ways, so that's fun. Yeah, Sweden didn't place very well with me last year, and they placed only marginally better this year. Because I mean, I don't hate the song, I just don't think it was that good. Like, I feel as though if voting in Eurovision was only ever down to people who don't usually watch the contest, like people who don't follow the contest religiously, if the voting was only down to those people, the results would be so bizarrely different. Noses, oh my god, that's beautiful, and you deserve well, I mean, I would say a pat on the head for that, but then all you need to do to achieve that is crawl under a cow. Ha 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 ha, poop joke. Anyway. Do we have a moment? We do. I think this might be the scene that I made the short film. It looks like it. Yep, it is. This is the scene that I made the short film with. So this whole cutscene. Oh my god, did they really? Nice. I actually can't see my Gmail notifier, so I can't confirm, but if so, that's actually lovely. So yeah, this cutscene I made into a short film. If people want me to release it, then I will. Now, little babe, I will keep you from all harm. For you, I know that even the mountains, even the ocean, none will sunder you from the love we set in motion. And then it trails off at some point, but anyway. I've been meaning to sing along with that at some point, and that was probably a garbage performance. And yes, I stopped halfway through, fight me. But, wow. I am flattered and honoured that I have been noticed. Yeah, the UK would have done 2 places better. Well, that certainly is a thing that has been said. TessHex. Oh, please. I mean, to be fair, I don't think I've ever properly busted out my genuine singing voice on this stream, or on this channel at all, but at some point. At some point, I do intend to do, like, a proper, like, actually show off my singing voice, because, like, whenever I do it, like, in a Let's Play or, like, on stream, I'm always, like, having it up for the camera, but real talk, I actually do kind of want to, at some point, show exactly what I'm capable of. I don't want them to try to miss the... I don't want them to actively try to miss the final, but, like, I would like the idea of a year where everything gets shaken up, shake it up. There you go. Uh-oh, yes, oh, Maria. That was a song. Oh, Blackadder, of course. Something that I really have been meaning to sit down and just sort of go through from beginning to end. Because I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never, like, formally dedicated my time to watching them, so... I've been getting other people to watch Steven Universe, so... entirely... I should... yeah. Anyway, Rescue Beach. Typically, the idea is you should probably come here first, because I think it's supposed to be the easiest. But... see, I want to believe that this year's results have shown that, like, any country can win or place in the top 3 if they really try. And I want San Marino to look at that and think, hey, that could be us next year. But then, Signor Carlo Romeo, he's looked at that and been like, nah. And, like, I don't want to withdraw. At the very least, San Marino, please don't withdraw, we love you. Thing is, I actually could, like, email, Alessandro Capicchioni, because I've spoken to him in person before, and also I've emailed him several times. Like, he knows that I'm a trusted figure, so I could low-key, like, email him and then say, yo, I don't have any money, but could you maybe not withdraw? And then, and I don't know. I just don't want San Marino to withdraw. I would represent them if they gave me the opportunity, but there are people who'd be much better suited than I am, realistically. But still, if there's... here comes a thought. Of course. Oh, Broadchurch. I have heard of Broadchurch. Isn't that the one with David Tennant? Well, that's certainly a thing. That's certainly a thing, then. And I don't remember if I this way? I don't think it is this way. I don't remember. It's been a while. This is not the correct way. By the way, we're inside a starfish. I'm not very fond of this sort of environment, but I shall power through it. This starfish is Sidekick, because he is very good at speaking English. It's a seasoned English starfish. I'm so sad for Macedonia. I want them to do well as well, because they utterly stole my heart this year and my first place. So, meh. Oh, Lozzie, clearly, what we should do is you, me, and Austin do the Swiss national final, and even though they don't do this anymore, for the covers round, do Starstruck by 303. And then you can be Katy Perry, and it will be glorious. Because, you know, I think I should know how to make love to something innocent without leaving my fingerprints out. Now, LOV is just another word I never learned to pronounce. How do I say I'm sorry because the word is never gonna come out? Now, LOV is just another word I never learned to pronounce. Damn it, that's a good song. Of course, as a continued Whovian, it is difficult to see David Tennant as not the Doctor. But I know he's a very capable actor, so... knees. Also, I just randomly remembered last night, Belarus qualified and got 2 12s in the final, and possibly more from the televote, I don't remember. And that just made me smile, because you go, Belarus. Yo. Also, we have pods on legs. Pods on legs, I say. So, there's a thought. What if I were to cover Dance Alone? Clearly that would be the best thing. Or, what would be the real best thing is if I were to be the next Doctor in Doctor Who, and you can't prove that I'm not until later. Thing is, though, I actually do want to use my TessHex versus Literature outfit more often, and I do kind of want to do TessHex versus Literature again, but I haven't had a chance, like, because I've been busy with university and stuff, I've not had, like, enough time to properly sit down and read stuff, apart from Tristan's stuff, funnily enough. So, I don't really have the time to do it, but I want to use the outfit, but at the moment it's too warm to wear clothes at all, apart from the shorts that I'm wearing. So, trust me, I wouldn't stream in the nip. I have some standards. much to the chagrin of some people present here, because clearly I am the most stud muffin. Also, we are heating up on light energy. I must cool down with some perp drank, and by that I mean dark energy. Have you, Total T? Does it involve buying both of the Danganronpa games for me on Steam? Because come the sale, I might do that for myself. Maybe. But that is something that I intend to do, by the way. I intend to stream Danganronpa, possibly with Ousted on Sugar, possibly with my mother. Because I was talking to her about it, I think either today or yesterday, just as a means of trying to get her hyped for it, because, I mean, yeah, it's murder, but it's a murder mystery, so... yeah. Now, I know people are going to be really upset if I say this, but, like, I never really followed classic Who, and in fact, I never actually got on the Doctor Who hype train until David Tennant, and then I did go back and watch some of Christopher Eccleston's stuff, but I didn't say, I think I did sit down and watch the one with Paul McGann, I think it is, the Eighth Doctor. I did watch that. I don't remember anything about it, though, and I've not been consciously avoiding classic Doctor Who, but I feel as though it would be better if they were to... see, now, I'm going to say, it would be good if they were to remake it, but obviously they can't because the former Doctors aren't available for it, and so I accept that. But I'd be more inclined to watch if they were to remake it. Well... that's an excellent idea, and I shall. Unless you specify something else. But hey, I mean, what if the entire YSC Discord server came together to put together a Eurovision package, and then we send it to, like, Bulgaria or somewhere? Because, like, with Bulgaria, their process is, hey, you need to be, like, you need to have experience with TV broadcasting. I'm just gonna be like, hey, yo there, friends, I actually have a university-level qualification in TV and radio, or I will have by this time next year. Salison, get good! Would someone just send Salison the link to the YSC Discord just so he can join our friend bubble? DSi cord, the Nintendo version. Just the only thing that, like, the only bad thing I can say about Discord is that if you're using the browser-based version, it's really easy to accidentally make a second account when what you're supposed to actually do. I just no-clipped, okay. The thing is, it's really hard to do, like, it's easy to accidentally make a new account when you meant to just sign in, is the one thing I'll say about it. Yep. Please do, Total T. Funny you should say that, Tristan, because, have you heard this year's winner? Nah, sorry, that's 60s. I'm making so many enemies. But, I mean, real talk. Like, just, if I may plug him once again, Tristan is an excellent author. He has written songs before, and they are very good. So, I would recommend. And for that matter, I mean, these are things that, if we were to come together, we could well remaster them and release them onto the world. It would be a fun time. And we can actually remake the, I've, off the top of my head, I've completely blanked on what the song's called. I want to say Autumn Leaves, I could be completely wrong. But we can make the Anthony version of the Stephanie song, which only Tristan kids will get this. I can't believe that worked, because that shouldn't have worked with the lens that low, but hey. Once you made an account, just cross your fingers and hope for pie. I keep forgetting that there's this mission to do here as well. I need to do the boopy things. Okay, we have cutscene. I can drink some more water. And we head back to White Forge once again. My god. Rest in ditto peace. And here we have Mayor Big Ug's Dr. Doorhead and Gangnam Style, as I called them in my Let's Play. Ah, my knee. I have a dong knee. And this time, yeah, I'll begin with Magdal Woods, because in my 2 previous story-based runs of the game, I've done other... I did them in a different combination, I don't remember. See, I kind of know that feel, Total T, but, like, I don't really showcase my actual singing capability all that much, so no comment, but, like, the problem is, I can't write music. That's my biggest problem. Like, the thing that like, gets to me is a lot of my skills are things that anyone can look at and say dismissively, oh, well, anyone could do that. Like, yeah, I'd like to think that I'm decent at writing, but that feels like someone could say, oh, well, anyone can write, and anyone can write lyrics and that sort of thing. And so, like, I know that's not true. Like, not, like, anyone can write in theory. Not everyone can write well, though. And I'd like to think that I fall into the category of writing. Oh, you know what? It's because I was mixing up with Autumn Leaves, which was Macedonia's Eurovision entry 2015. Sorry about that. So, Autumn Rain. But yes, good stuff anyway. The stuff is very, very good stuff. You see, this is why... Oh, that is true. Joss and I have actually been co-op writing a thing, and there was a thing that I wrote in that was especially good, and so, see, it just tickled me, because at the time, like, I just posted that particular, like, paragraph or whatever, and Joth comes to me on Discord and she says, oh, that was a really poetic piece of, or that was a really good thing, I don't remember, and she's like, well, I'd like to imagine that it's something like, oh, you wrote really well, how did you do it, what was your inspiration? And I'm sitting here in a pair of shorts watching Spy Kids, and I didn't even realise that was Antonio Banderas, so, I have questionable standards. Thing is, I wouldn't want to, like, big up my own writing skills in the presence of someone that I know can write so much better than I can, so just be aware that Tristan is an excellent individual of very high standards of please do throw money at him, for he is very good. And so this area, you can open these books and it'll teach you how to get through. For some reason, this set of beams and this set of beams alone don't hurt you if you've got your back turned to them. I have no idea why. That's just it's the forest of illusion. They will boop you if you're facing the wrong way. Just like society. Well, that depends. Does Callum's Corner really exist? Or is it like Little T, not a real? And is Little T the same T as Lil T from The Voice Kids, who I'm sorry, I don't... That wasn't a good performance. I'm not saying that because it was rap, I'm saying that because it wasn't a good performance of rap. But whatever. Incidentally, The Voice Kids, Xena Donnelly, like, I am absolutely Team Pixie just because she's got Xena Donnelly and for no other reason. Ha 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 ha! Did you mean RuPaul's Drag Race? Yeah, and yeah, her audition was Mama Knows Best by I think that was that Jessie J? I want to say it was. Well, regardless. See, I thought I recognised Xena from the trailers for the series. I thought, there's no way that could be her, and it is. So, go Xena. And yeah, there was one girl who was like really sort of rocky, shouty, really good, really impressive, and she was really good and really impressive. Meh. Meh. Now, it doesn't look like it, but this game does actually have instant kill crush death, technically. But the game doesn't know how to handle it. Because in the ordinary game, you can't go out of bounds, and typically you can't be crushed by things. But there are some instances where the game can accidentally throw you out of bounds and or crush you, and in that case, it just assumes that you died. And I think if you die by falling off the bottom of the screen or the top, then it counts as a light energy death, and if you fall off the sides, a dark energy death. I'm not 100% certain. Also, this area has really good music, and it would be a shame if you can't hear it, so, you know. If it's drowning me out, do let me know. I would cry a million sads. Oh, are we doing the acronym game again? Because that was... For those who weren't present for that, in one of the episodes of Pokemon Ruby, the stream, we took names of countries and turned them into acronyms for stuff, and that went rather well. Running on every optional elevator, performing fine, but overly whiny lyrics to tell juries every idea. So Sweden. Okay, I'm glad then. And you can also get this game's soundtrack on Steam as well, which I have because it is very good. Like, seriously, these guys are really good composers. And, excuse you. Well, to be fair, Ruby was the only properly streamed series that I did. I'm still waiting for Pokemon Paparacha, personally. You know, the game where you can only catch Pokemon that you've already catched. Yes, catched, not even caught. Names of countries, Joth. It was like, sometimes winning it takes zealous effort, real leadership, and naive determination. Switzerland. I will follow you, Apollo. But to be fair, Sapphire is only better than Ruby in Steven Universe. Please. Pokemon Diagonal and Pokemon Polkadot. Pokemon Polkadot! I don't know why I find that hilarious, I just do. Or, I tell you what, Pokemon Sideshoop and Pokemon Woodle. Those are the best ones. Pokemon Tess and Pokemon Hex. In Pokemon Tess, you have to do everything but not very well, and in Pokemon Hex you just have to kill everyone, because that's a reference to the 2 times I did Undertale. Yay. I really should be letting these ghosts bite my face, because they're filming up on the energy that I need right now. Yeah. Those little angry facey ghost things, they're so cute. See, even with the fan on in my room, it is very warm. Nya. Oh, did I mention? You know, I meant to start the stream with this, and I totally forgot, but... So, I've never played Battle Block Theatre, but I did recently watch a compilation of all of the cutscenes in it. And as a result of that, I learned that hopeless is an anagram of P-slosh, and I don't know why this is hilarious, but it is. I'm getting loopy because of the warmness. Pokemon, Pokemon, and Pokemon not Pokemon. Honestly, like, in terms of game quality, I absolutely agree, and in terms of, like, actual designs, I feel as though there isn't a single Pokemon generation that's the worst for designs across the board, but in terms of type coverage, technically Gen 1 is mathematically the worst because it has the fewest types and thus the worst type coverage overall. But... okay, the game froze again. Honestly, I think... like, as I said, I think Gen 4 is the one that I spent the most time on, but Gen 5 was my favourite, but... Black and White 1, I think, were the absolute peak, and it was sort of downhill from there, but, like, not in a bad way. I would allow you. I might have to double-check if, I might have to approve it personally if you do post it. So, you have my permission to at least attempt it. So... see... I did think that with Gen 5, I will say, it was starting to get to the point where they were just, like, the Pokemon cries were just a load of digitized grunts in various forms. Oh, but one thing, though, that, like, one thing that has stuck with me from other people's things is, why, upon why, upon why, do people pronounce it Arcanine? It's Arcanine. It is an arcane canine. It is Arcanine. Why do people call it Arcanine? Ah. Is everyone else seeing the Dropbox link? Because, oh, I didn't realise this is where Paxton died. Okay, so Paxton dies, by the way. And, Lozzie, absolutely go for it. You are very good. Right. If everyone else can see... wait, so they're pronouncing it wrong because the anime pronounced it wrong. Oh my god. I mean, I say that. I do pronounce it Arceus, and I know that's technically wrong, because as Austin on Sugar has told me many times, it's supposed to be Arc plus Deus, so Arceus, but I call it Arceus, and my reasoning for that is anglicization in the Pokemon universe would soften the C into a soft C. But yes, Arcane Canine. Arcanine. Knees. But yeah, in terms of designs, either Gen 4 or Gen 5 are my personal favourites, but I'm like, I will throw both arms up and say that I'm in no position to say which generation is the best. But Gen 4 has Lucario, and Gen 5 has Zoroark, so for obvious reasons, at the very least, they rank very highly in my books. Oh, and Gen 4 has Magnezone, so see, that's the thing. For some completely arbitrary reason, Magnezone is my favourite designed Pokemon, but not my favourite to use by any stretch. Just because it's not very practical to use, I guess. But I like the design. Arshornus. As in, the anus of Arshorn. I get the reference. Oh, it did actually surprise me, though, to learn that, oh, I missed one of the things. That Mr. Smith from the Sarah Jane Adventures, which was a spin-off of Doctor Who, which focused on Elizabeth Sladen's character, fuck. Yes, Elizabeth Sladen's character, fuck. Arse anus, even better. Check that as you will. Yeah. Sarah Jane Smith, the character of Elizabeth Sladen, may a deity of your choice rest her soul, she had a computer called Mr. Smith, and that was voiced by Alexander Armstrong. I didn't even realise also that Danny John Jules was the caretaker spy guy from MI High. What? Wait, hang on a minute. I am screwing this royally. Of course the purple isn't going to go the right way. It's pointing the wrong way. Somehow I managed to... For some reason, I thought I was making the purple point to the blue and vice versa. But I would disagree with that completely, totally. Like, I'm not going to offer my own alternative for how I reckon that should be listed, but I disagree. Is the long and short of what I'm saying. But yeah, for everyone else, did the Dropbox link that Tristan posted actually appear in the chat? Because I could see it on my end, so it looks like it got through, but do let me know. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a burp. Thing is, feline as I am, whenever I burp, it tends to turn out sounding like a hairball, so there's a tree. So there's a tree. And so's Bradley Walsh as well. Just true story. So there you go. We should make a supergroup out of Bradley Walsh and Alexander Armstrong, and just see what happens. And this cutscene is like the biggest plot twist of the century. There's another continent! But it's not incontinent, it's outer continent. I keep doing that, because there's Apex Plaza and Murex Park, and I keep getting the two mixed up, even though I've been playing this game for ages. Like, I let's played this game like the day it came out, and yet I still get that mixed up. Wait, what am I supposed to do? I thought I had to go and see Yara. Do I need to leave now? Surely not. See, this is what's going to cost me the achievement. I keep forgetting where I need to... Oh, hang on a minute. That's now. I completely forgot about this. We just sort of randomly... Okay. We just randomly get a new home. As you do. Anyway. Yara, there you are. How are your turnips? Lozzie, if you need to sleep, go and sleep. Prepare yourself for the necessary job openings or whatever. Go and be a very good. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to have Dropbox, I don't think. I think you can just download it. But if not, then... yeah. Also, Aleph new home has a voice-powered coffee maker. So, that was the point of that cutscene. Now, I don't know if this is required, but I'm going to anyway just in case. If you go over here, and then go down here, then there's a secret. Canyon Hideaway. Good thing we're slightly purple at the moment, because that makes this slightly fast. Gotta go fast. Totally just misread Lopez as Topaz. I would say I've been watching too much Steven Universe, but I haven't because they're back on hiatus again. See, I heard a rumour that they're going to be doing another Summer of Steven event, and I kind of want that, because... Steven... Guess who sold her turnips? This bitch! Ah, the memories. And that's the point. We absolutely should do another stream of Animal Crossing Meeb Fest when you're next here, Lozzie. Like, there should just be so many streams. I don't even know how we can hold them all. But... See, I still play New Leaf to this very day. Maybe it's not Discord that's weird. Maybe it's your face. See, normally I would have ended a stream by about now. But I have not. Because I'm in the second half of... the second act of the game. Well, the third game, actually. The third act of the game, wow. And I feel like, really, I could just sit here and do this all night, depending on... like, if people wanted me to. Like, I could be here for as long as necessary, but... See, I always, I've always had Discord on the dark theme, and you see, that's the good thing with New Leaf. You can set the town thing to be. By the way, this is switches I can't move. You could set it to be like the flowers will never die, and so like that's a thing. So that's what I've been relying on, and now that. Like, there are no empty squares in my town that could have flowers on them because they will have flowers on them. Good night, Lozzie. I would do an Animal Crossing stream, but the only one that I can actually... Well, there are 2 Animal Crossing games that I could stream. But one of them is the GameCube one, which doesn't have online interactivity, and the other is the Wii version, which the online interactivity has been since discontinued. And why would you use artificial inflation, the policy? Because, like, literally, just use the poop in here, the, what's it called? The Make Wherever Beautiful ordinance. Yeah, because, like, that has saved my bacon, because I have so many flowers. But I don't understand why anyone would use anything different. Well, yeah, in theory, but as it is, I haven't touched my Wii Animal Crossing towns in ages, and so I just, no. I don't have the heart to go back to that, although I did have a couple of hacked animals in one of my Animal Crossing towns, and I low-key would kind of like to show them off, but at the same time, I don't want to bring them out of their stasis, because otherwise, bad news. It'll make the towns be dead. See, my personal favourite is Alfonso the alligator. We always called him Alfod, and I don't know why. But he is just precious. Anyway. No, goodness no. See, I would do New Leaf, but I can't stream 3DS. I don't have a 3DS capture unit. Which I would like to get at some point, but it's not feasible in the near future. Yeah, I don't have the heart to reset my towns either. Alfonso is precious, and he used to live in my town. Like, he lived in my New Leaf town from the beginning, and then he arbitrarily left, and that made me sad. But, yeah. See, my mother, of all people, actually used to be really into hacking Animal Crossing for the Wii, which is really surprising because she's not the hacking sort. Like, she's not the computery sort at all. But it's actually low-key really fun. Oh, yeah. I was going to mention this. So, as a result of that, we had Bones, the dog, who actually I share my birthday with. But, as a result of how the hacking software works, we accidentally swapped Bones' gender so that he behaved like a nice female. And so, we started calling her Vanessa. Because, I mean, she's female now, so... it seemed like a female version of Bones, so yeah, why not? Oh, and there's an entirely separate thought. Wow, I screwed up the timing of that big time, Styly. I didn't even realise that timing could be screwed up. Okay then. But we see this is why you shouldn't do it, Total T. Well, I suppose that is true. Thing is, nowadays it feels as though, like, there's no such thing as a boy's name. There is only girls' names and unisex names. Which, like, I'm not saying, oh, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, it's whatever. Like, I'm just like, that sure is a thing. Like, especially off the back of Steven Universe as well, because Jasper used to be a boy's name, and now, no, you say Jasper, you think of the Big Buff Cheeto Puff. Oh, they are stupid expensive. Like, I don't remember exactly how much, but I think either 100 or 300 pounds. Either way, entirely too many. So something I do intend to get at some point, but then again, I don't know if I will ever actually see a return on it, so I don't really think I can justify paying for it. Hey, Apollo still, like, I think Apollo is one of, if not the only, animal in my town, in New Leaf, who was there when I started the town and is still there to this day. And I just recently had my 4-year anniversary where they gave me the special, like, town clock item thing. So, that's a cool story there. So, much as I would love to get a 3DS capture... Really? Wow. See, I have a new 3DS XL, and so that actually sounds interesting to me. Like, I know you could certainly screenshot, but you can't, like, record, as far as I know. So that is totally something that I think I should look into. Because if I have to pay hundreds of pounds, then it really isn't worth it, because, as it is, I don't, like, even though they run adverts on my videos on YouTube, I don't get paid anything. Like, YouTube acknowledges that they owe me at least 30, like, for some reason the value of my channel keeps resetting, but it, like, they, last time I checked, they acknowledged that I'm worth at least £30, and they have never paid me. Which, I think that's because I'm not signed to an MCN, or last time I think I'm technically signed to Smosh Games Network, but they don't do anything. So, yeah. Though I did recently get, a message from an MCN claiming that they've been trying to get in touch with me for ages, and I'm just like, if you're really that desperate to get in touch with me, then I'll let you reply to this, to this email yourself. Oh, Clever Pigeon, I actually recognise you from other... Yeah. This is kind of not. It's a speedrun in that I'm aiming for the clear it in under 5 hours achievement, but I'm not like a professional speedrunner, so I'm not going to be like doing frame perfect whatever. I'm just trying to get to the end of the game without dying. Like that. That was perfectly timed. But... Where am I? Good thing I keep accidentally hitting save points. See, this room is really easy, I just need to pay attention. Okay, I need to focus it that way. Then go down. And then if I do that, that should be the thing that I need. Yeah, because that stops the laser on that side. My goodness, I derped. Like I said, I've not rehearsed this game beyond the Let's Play that I did. I am a Let's Player, not a speedrunner, is kind of the bottom line here. But I'm honoured that someone else from the community has acknowledged that I exist. So, anyway, the long and short of it is, good evening. Or good whatever time of day it is in your part of the world if you're not in the same part of the world as me. Because clearly, any other country in Europe isn't in the UK time zone. Actually, no, that's true. But anyway, yes, hello, good evening, and baguettes. Right. Hang on. Oh, I got really worried for a second there, because I could swear that I could hear the game doing the, oh, you're being filled up on a type of energy noise, and I didn't see it, and I was just like, oh, am I dying? I mean, I might, just because, like, I think it's only going to be, like, it's only going to be on the leaderboard because hardly anyone else has speedrun this game compared to some of the others, so, like, just relatively. Anyway, there's stuff in the chat that I know is of interest to me, so I shall check that in just a hot minute. Okay, so we in here. See, I kind of get where you're coming from, Heartbeat, because I feel as though it should have had the potential to qualify. I think the performance could have been a bit better, but I still think, like, there are countries who performed worse and still qualified, but one of those countries was not Serbia. Serbia's non-qualification I could see coming. Just because, like, I didn't until a live performance, and I'm just like, yeah, this isn't going to qualify. But, yeah, like I said, Tristan is an excellent writer, excellent songwriter. He's just the perfect person. And he's just... Now, this room, I really like the puzzle in this room, because your first inclination is to wall jump up the wall, but don't do that, because then the laser will re-shut the door. You need to be clever. And sort of be already up. Like, I explained that much better in my Let's Play of the game, so if you want to see me doing this game well, then that. I don't remember how I started the sentence. See, I am impressed that, oh, that's completely fine, Total T. I needed a hype man anyway. So, anyway. You know what? I need to recharge my light energy because I am far too purple at the moment. Yeah, honestly, I agree with that, because, like, as I said, Anya's song this year, Denmark's best chance of qualifying in recent memory, but not necessarily, I pressed it to jump, I don't care, but not necessarily their best song, full stop. It's like, I'm unsurprised that it qualified, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it hadn't qualified. Because, yeah, American, like, radio standards and American general conservativeness and stuff, and that's putting it gently. I don't know if people have been keeping track of such things. But anyway, what am I waiting for? Do I need to go up here? I think I do. Oh, but, hang on. I need just to do a brain moment there. Right, so... what is my brain doing? I was going to say something, and I forgot what... oh, yes. So, I'm still making the necessary preparations. By the way, this is where Paxton would have died if we'd come here first. So, I'm making the necessary preparations for FCOT FM, which I'll be running next year. Because, for those who weren't aware, I had a radio show this year, and next year, as part of my third year of studying radio, we have to actually run the station ourselves, and we're making we're making plans for it now. And so, if anyone here has, like their own music or whatever that they want played on actual radio, because I'm going to have more than just my Eurovision show next year, I am at liberty to play that sort of thing. So, you know, there are some people that I'm going to talk to see if they want their stuff played, and, you know, anyone else, hit me up if you want to be played on the actual radio. Nee. See, Stephanie, as opposed to Smethany, blessed be her soul. But the one thing is, as soon as I hear Harry Potter parody, my first thought is, I forget what it's called. Is that My Immortal or is that something else? Because I know that there is something out there that's like really terrible Harry Potter fanfiction, and I think it involves, like, I don't know, it involves some really nasty shit at any rate. So, that is a thing, that is thung. Alas, I know nothing of such culture. Or lack thereof, as the case may be. Apparently that is My Immortal. Well, I don't know much about it, I just know that there's some not very good things in there, and by not very good I mean morally questionable. So, see, I have heard, of all people, I have heard Big Dip on a Bus actually summarize it, him and his, well, I would say him and his wife, but his wife is transgender, so his name is Martin now. So I believe this was before Martin was transgender, or before Martin came out as transgender and had the necessary assignment or whatever. So I don't know whether to refer to him as husband or wife at the moment. But anyway, I just remember hearing that was just that being summarized by the Sean Connery of YouTube. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm not being bad. So, well, FCOFM isn't a big corporate thing. It's just a student-based station that's it's literally just students. So it's the university. So that's why it's you can listen to it online because it's streamed online, and that's a thing that we do. And where am I going? Meh. I should be hit by these balls so that I'm a bit more balanced. Daniel Radcliffe knows of the Potter Puppet Pals. This is cause for celebration. Or something else. Oh, hold on, I need to time this, because otherwise I will have a sad. There we go. See, I think my favourite Harry Potter thing in general is just, I've seen a picture of Daniel Radcliffe's face photoshopped onto a cliff, and it's labelled Daniel Boring Cliff. And then the same cliff, except he's wearing, a hat and sunglasses, and it's called Daniel Radcliffe as opposed to Daniel Boring Cliff. It's funny. Wait, to be fair, Anton, Denmark is just as bad, because I haven't tried to watch Dansk Melodi Grand Prix in years, because there was one time where I tried to watch it and it's nope, this is geo-blocked. Yeah, I thought so, just wanted to double check. So, thanks for clarifying, Joth. And if there's a delay in the actual, chat on screen, then that would probably make sense. See, because the way my screen is set up at the moment, I can't actually see the live chat. I've got a second window open, which is what I'm recording for the stream display, so I can't actually see the live as it happens display on my screen. So I don't know for certain what the haps are. And I keep worrying, oh, what if I run out of time and don't get the 5 hours achievement? And I'm looking at the time. I've been streaming for just under 90 minutes, so yes, I'm definitely still on track to get the achievement at the moment, assuming that I am doing the right version of events to achievement. Yeah. Anyway. I don't remember. Do we have to see Yara at this point? Because I think in this point in the story, Aleph and Yara have a bit of a falling out, and I don't remember whether that's if that's resolved now or what. Yeah, ... Now is not a good time to speak to Yara. Okay, duly noted. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've played through this game's story. I don't actually remember ever coming back here in my Let's Play, but I suppose I must have done. So, city entrance, there we go. Once upon a time, in the UK, there was a game show called 101 Ways to Leave a Game Show, and it was hosted by a Welsh guy, and it was actually kind of funny, and then they never did it for one series, but that is a shame. And I don't remember exactly how the show worked, but I know at some point it was oh hey, here are 8 answers and one of them is wrong and the other 7 aren't. If you pick the wrong answer, then we're going to drop you from this giant tower into a pool of water. And there are only 2 that I remember. One of them was varieties of potato, and the guy was explaining, that someone had picked the wrong answer, and he was like, Rosina isn't a potato, she's my grandmother. And I can't do accents, but anyway, it was a really good game show. And the other one was, breeds, I think it was breeds of dog, and someone had submitted Turkish van, and he's like, no, it's actually a kind of cat, and his accent was just so cute. And I know, I think, as an Englishman, I'm okay to take the piss out of different UK accents, because, say what you will, but Wales is UK. Incidentally, why is it that the BBC is currently running what is functionally a national final full of choirs, and we're not doing Choir of the Year? And why is ITV doing The Voice Kids but not Junior Eurovision when it was ITV that did Junior Eurovision for the UK in the first place? Bah! And breathe, Tess. And breathe, for Riverton is glorious and beautiful. See, the only other thing that I've encountered on the YouTube that is a thing that I would like to have seen, but... Well, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, Wales is, but England or the rest of the UK or whatever isn't. And that makes me sad, because it's like, well... Also, technically, I think we can just go back to the gate and everything, but we can just proceed, but I do want to show this off. So, I don't remember how you do it, but you can get up there, and then go further around, and... Oh, is it here? Is it somewhere? I don't remember. There's some way of climbing up Riverton, and you can find that, that the gatekeeper is asleep somewhere. So I'm glad Wales is Inquirer of the Year anyway, so I do intend to watch that, just so I can see, like, oh, official Eurovision branding with Wales! In the same way that, I've mentioned this before, I didn't watch Young Musicians last year, or this year, whenever it was. I think it was last year. But I did, like, at least watch San Marino's performance, just because it's San Marino, you know, Soon Moo. I want to pinch their cheeks as a collective nation. This isn't Deathwater, even though it looks like it should be. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I want to see the UK and its constituents take part in more things. Hopefully by the time... when I'm big and famous and such like, then the UK will truly come to appreciate taking part in Eurovision-y things. And there's a goat skull made of clouds. Maybe it's just me, maybe I've been Rorschached live on stream. Well, as far as UK taking part as separate countries is concerned, I like the idea. Like, I'm at peace either way, to be perfectly honest. Because as long as the UK is represented in some capacity, I'm not super salty. Ultimately, I like the idea, you know, ultimately my Eurovision mentality is the more the merrier. So technically, if they're to take part as separate countries, of course that means more countries are taking part, and I'm okay with that. Because if the UK were to split up, then England would retain the Big Five status, and Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland would have to qualify, and England wouldn't. And this I've confirmed through research. Yes, Total T, you can wear the fez. As long as I get to keep the red fez, because that one's mine. Yeah, I'd imagine that it's probably not gonna... Oh, wow. I'd imagine that the Choir of the Year is probably not going to be broadcast at all, apart from on S4C, and you can get that on every channel, on every country in the UK, but, like, no one outside of Wales watches it, I don't think. I'm just wondering, have I ever been on TV? I don't think I have. I nearly was once, because, there's a children's game show in the UK, and I applied to be on it, and actually got to the audition phase, and they ultimately didn't put me through. I don't remember what the reason was. I think it's because they were like, oh, this game show involves puzzles, and we think you're going to find them too easy, so we don't want you taking part, because it'll show everyone else up, and I'm just like, bitch. But yeah, this was like 2007, so I was nearly on Raven, but then I wasn't. Tragic. But I do... a fezzy. Is that what they call them these days? But yes, I do want to be on the Crystal Maze at some point, because taking part in the, like, current Crystal Maze as it currently stands costs like £1,000, and like, can't I just be on the TV show for free? Also, really sort of ambient, satisfying music here at the moment. And I could go on about how in Spyro 2, the Homeworlds' musics technically aren't actually songs, they're just ambient sounds from an ambient soundtrack thing. Like, they're a sound font that they just sort of left to do its own sort of things, and then they recorded it and put it on the OST, or something like that. Also, as a separate thought from that, I heard that in recent news, there's an American, like, pet rescue center thing that's got, like, a neural network that names their guinea pigs for them. And it's just precious because it thinks it knows how humans name guinea pigs. And a lot of the time it gets it right, but some of the time it doesn't. And so we have stuff like my personal favorites are After Pie and Princess Pow. And those are just excellent names. And you're damn right furry culture's huge. This is why, like, personally, I prefer to refer to it as the furry nation rather than the furry fandom, because it's so much more than the fandom, TBH. But, where was I? What was I saying? Oh yeah, various names of guinea pigs. There were some less good ones, like madly mean and fleshy, and then there was one that's just like a string of incomprehensible letters and numbers. And I believe I sent Joff the link to the article about that, so you're welcome to bring up some better examples if you can find them. But Stargoon, yes. And there was one that I think, there was Dab and Gooper as well. My favourite is After Pie, though, but Princess Pow. Very good name for a guinea pig. And then Beep Boop. Yeah. You know how I said before that my nose is rebellious and likes to itch? Well, now is one of those times. Now, fun fact. I've been contemplating shaving. Which, like, no, but at the same time, it's a consideration. At the very least, I may trim my beard. But my hair is not going to. Need more green. Well, in the game or in the real world? Because either way, you're right. Now, I forget what the protocol is here. I think we need to lower this one. And then boof that and then jump back up. Up jump the boogie. And, well, this is true. And I do resent the notion of shave or society will reject you. Salacin, get good. But your hair suits you, Joff. And here's where Paxton would have died if we'd come here first. Just fun fact. In fact, that's where he did die in my Let's Play. So yes, Paxton dies. Spoilers, there's nothing you can do about it. Oh. Oh, that was gravy. The heck of it. The heck! And rightly so. Let there be heck. Let there be heckin' rockin' woo. Oh. 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 See, I'm the opposite way inclined. I have no intentions of cutting my hair. Like, I might at some point get the ends trimmed just so it looks a bit fancier, but I don't intend to reduce length anytime soon. Anxiety-inducing pellets approaching at very fast, high speeds. Yeah. Okay, that was unnecessarily risky, but I did it anyway. I did it live. On stream. A live stream. Thanks for watching. Oh, nope, I need to go more up. So you know how... You might not know. You know how every time I do a stream, I go back and, like, watch it afterwards. This is going to be fun to watch because there's a lot of it. I just forgot which colour was a colour. I need to colour differently. No, I need to still be up. If I did, it wasn't intentional. See, I would put the YSC invite code in the chat, but I don't have it to hand, and obviously I'm midstream, so if someone else could, then that would be just lovely. Wait a fuck. There we go. No? That I did a bad. There we go. Yeah, honestly, I can't imagine me with short hair either. Because, like, I used to have, like, I stopped cutting my hair when I left high school. Because, like, my high school was, like, even then I was pushing the limits. Because in high school, they were like, no, boys have to have short hair. It's the rules. It wasn't actually in the rules. In fact, you know, actually, there's kind of a fun story just that I can extrapolate on. So, in high school, it was an all-boys school until 2008, where they did, like, a merger with its all-girls equivalent, who was, like, on the other side of town. And luckily for me, the campus stayed the one that I was going to. So, yeah. And when the schools joined, they were like, okay, we want the girls to have long hair, or, like, I do. The girls need to have, like, hair whatever length they want, but not too short, and the boys can't have shoulder-length hair or longer. And there was no rhyme or reason to it. And so I defied that. I grew my hair out. And they were like, no, 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 you can't do it. And I said to them, well, it doesn't say in the rules. You know, I can have my hair long if I want to. You can't tell me that I can't. And they were like, oh, but it's not in the spirit of the rules. And I was like, that's a shit excuse. If I want long hair, I'm going to grow my hair long. And so, like, at that point, I was almost at the end of my last year there anyway, so they were like, okay, well, I mean, it's not really worth arguing over it because you're about to leave anyway. So, they did give it up. I approve of this. And I agree as well. Yeah, we did the thing before it overheated. Like, overheated but past tense. And they had the same issue with my nails as well, because, for those who don't know, I do have... Spirit of the rules, spirit of the rules. No. I do like to have long nails. I actually did cut them today, just because they were getting a bit too long, just to be practical. But I prefer having them long as opposed to short. And they were like, oh yeah, there is a link to the server on the YSC channel page, Doi. Yeah, okay. I've forgotten about that. Don't hate, marinate all of your friends in their own juices. Haha, murder. No. But yeah, so the funny thing though is that because I like to grow my nails out, that earned me the rather fortunate nickname in high school of 9-inch. Just fun little story that I'm just going to leave hanging in the air. So that happened. Oh wait, hang on a minute, I need to go to Windsweep Towers first. Okay, well, never mind. Wait, no, hang on. Need to see Yara, because we're about to go on a journey. Okay. This is what I was thinking of before. And you might notice in some of my older videos that I used to paint my nails, and I don't do that anymore. Like, I'm not opposed to it, and I would like to do it again. I just don't have the patience to sit down and paint my nails, and that's literally the only thing that's stopping me. Because I still have a load of my old nail polish, which I donated most of it to my mother because she, like, somehow she got into painting my nails when I stopped. So we still have them. And I might get back into doing it, but honestly, you're entirely welcome to, Total T. Like, I'm just too lazy to. And... that's all. I did, in 2012, dye my hair blue as well, and then it sort of washed out, and it wasn't the shade of blue that I wanted. I wanted more of a dark blue, and it was more of a sort of like a little bluer than the background of Joth's like picture there. And like I wanted more of like a I don't want to say Facebook blue, but like that's the most handy frame of reference to use. So well, I don't know about Final Fantasy, and they don't know about the word final, and oh hey, the game crashed for a second there as well. Now, TessHex blue is more of a cornflower blue. So that is a good idea, but now if I were to dye my hair again, I would go blue, but like sort of midnight blue, kind of electric blue, sort of that sort of thing. That was red though. Unless I'm misremembering. Anyway, it's another thing that I've never been bothered to do, just because it takes so long to dye my hair. Like, bearing in mind, I have naturally dark hair, so I have to bleach it first and then dye it, and like, I do not have the patience to sit around, like... That said, I'm really lazy. I like doing a fat lot of nothing, but I can't, like, even though a lot of what I do sometimes is just sit around and, like, computer and, like, watch other people's stuff on YouTube, I could quite easily, like, you know, just sit there and have my hair be dyeing while I'm watching someone else's stuff. But I just don't have the, like, the patience to sit down and get it done, so... yeah. Also, I don't know if I'm supposed to... I mean, I guess I can just go and do the... Oh, wow. That was a total guess. Bearing in mind, when I first did the Let's Play of this game, I totally blanked on where the Earth Bomb Silo was, and so to have just found it out of the blue there was just glorious. Also, the silos have the best music in this game, I think, so just enjoy those, but I mean, I wouldn't want to try and take Alexander's place. But, I mean, if you think it would suit me, then, I mean, I'd give it a go. Whoa, everything ended up balanced. That was weirdly serendipitous. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, actually, that is... whether the plug was intended or not, that actually is a thing that is on my to-read list, I suppose. Well, how do you mean, Total T? Like, you don't know where the upload button is, or you don't know what content to provide? Or is there some other egg about it? Ah, yes. But I'm dying to try. I'm dying to try. I'll keep you safe in my arms, build a bridge to your heart every day. I'll give you a tool, but I'm not going to lie, because no one can promise that love will never learn how to fry an egg. And... Wait, what? What, really? I legit didn't know that. That would explain a lot, come to think of it, because there are a couple of places that look like the silos should be there and they're not, so... Wow. This is news to me. Huh. So I really should be referring to the maps then, wow. Huh. See, the thing is, the most interaction that I've ever had with the devs of this game are when, I believe it was when Sean was doing, was it... I think it was either Sean or Johnny. Well, no shit, there's only the two of them. But when they were doing the, like, live stream developments of these, like, I did, like, sit in on some of those and, like, talk to them and stuff, because, like, they're good people. And... yeah, getting too much light energy. Like, beyond that, the only other, like, interaction I've had with them is literally right after I recorded the episode of my Let's Play of this, where I did the Siegio? The Purgatory area. The Great Falls that are really far to the north. Like, I tweeted, like, I said in that video that I would tweet them and let them know that that was a really awesome area, and I did, and they saw it. So... to everyone else who's watching this stream, the developers of this game are basically they're like the BNT of the game developing world. They're like Bulgaria, but without the Bulgaria. Or the Eurovision, for that matter. Time to try denying gravity. Thing is, the judges, yeah, nearly died there because I wasn't paying attention. They didn't say all that, they sort of made a big deal about the fact that she's performed with, who was it? Whitney Houston? And they showed will.i.am, looking up the performance on his phone. But no, that's the one thing that, have I played Anodyne? I have I've played Anodyne, I've Let's Played it, I've streamed it, and I've got all the achievements, and also bought the soundtrack, so that's a very hearty yes. It was very good, and that's why I bought. That's why this was a day one purchase for me. But anyway, yeah, that's the one thing with the Voice Kids, though. At no point did they ever mention anything about Junior Eurovision. They didn't mention that Xena was in it. They didn't mention anything about it. They didn't mention that she'd come second to represent Ireland the previous year. No mention of it at all. I'm hoping they do bring it up at some point, because I'm going to be really salty otherwise. But yeah. In completely unrelated news, although just speaking of game developers, also, boing, bouncy booty. I entirely shouldn't be proud of this fact at all, but in the circles that I follow on Twitter, including Lucajin and Rabbid Luigi, there are murmurings of there being a game called Dream Daddy, the Dad Dating Simulator. I'm probably going to Let's Play that, because I have exactly no standards. But, all jokes aside, apparently, I don't like that it was produced by the Game Grumps, because I'm not on good terms with them, but I do like that apparently the music is done by Jesse Cale, and I've been a really strong proponent of his music, so... In other news, go and check out Jesse Cale, he's a really good artist. Yeah, it is real. I do intend to let's play it, and I don't even know. Yeah, so with the like, you can at least see her performance, and honestly, that's the only bit that's worth looking at because, like, you know how with reality TV they make it really obvious, like they don't intend to, but like it's really obvious when like they want someone to do well, and when they aren't fussed, but like when like they'll pick one or two artists that they really want to hype up, and they'll hype them up, and then all the other artists don't get anywhere near as much of a look in as far as like support and hype and like whatever. And Xena is one of those ones where they don't realize that she might end up being really popular because of the Eurovision fandom, in the same way that the same is true of Sarah Alto before she really blew up. So yeah, like I feel like I want to believe that the Eurovision fandom will basically make Xena be the Sarah Alto of the Voice kids, because I want her to do well. Okay, Game Grumps beef. Basically, it's like the really short, oversimplified version is they don't produce videos that I like, but they don't produce videos that are appropriate for me as an audience. Like, I am not their target audience, but it's really like difficult to sort of like, it's really easy to mix up. Like, you're like, oh, but Tess, you like video games and talking over them and witty banter, surely you'd love them. And that's the problem, because when they do games, they don't take them seriously, and like to them it's all just a laugh, and if they do badly, then like they don't show the games the respect that they deserve. And also I feel like there's some other reason that I initially didn't like them as well, and I don't know, I don't remember the specifics of it, but like that's what it boils down to, like the whole they don't take games seriously enough. And like the people that I watch, like gaming content wise, I watch them to see them and the game, not just a podcast with a game on in the background, and that's what they do. So for some people that's fine, and I don't begrudge them that, but for me it's like, it's not the content that I'm here for. So I sort of have beef with them. Also I like John, I don't like the others, and John isn't part of them anymore. So though that said, I know that there was like some controversy with JonTron. I have no idea about anything to do with that. Apparently it was to do with him being like there was a, I don't know, there was some sort of controversy with him. Like, I don't know anything about that. I just like his content and his sense of humor. So I'm not going to comment on his politics because I don't know anything about them. See, I know that they do occasionally have like hilarious moments, like, does Bruno Mars is gay? That did get a chuckle out of me. Occasionally they do have good moments, but for the most part, I just can't. They're too much of the school of YouTube that's like, scream at a game and call it a Let's Play, and like, no. Like, PewDiePie isn't a Let's Player. Markiplier barely qualifies as a Let's Player. That sort of thing. And you see, Joke Yoda, I'm not familiar at all. And I know that there is a trick to this timing, and I don't remember what it is. Also, that the music in here is so sort of sad, and this is the only geome that actually does look like you're inside, like, an animal flesh thing. Like, I think one of them looks really crystally, and the other one looks like sort of like the inside of an alien kind of thing. And okay, I only know about funny joke because it was used in a YouTube poop, and that's all I know about it. So that's as far as I'm going to leave that. Because clearly, Da Things 1 is the greatest YouTube pooper on the planet. And, okay, all jesting aside, I know that I will have made it in life if someone makes a YouTube poop out of my comment. I can't say that I don't watch enough of his stuff to say for certain, but he just seems like an Irish Markiplier, which, or maybe Markiplier is an American Jacksepticeye, one of the two. But either way, they're like barely borderline. Like, my definition of a Let's Player is someone like myself, or like, obviously I don't mean to put myself on the same plane as Chucker Conroy, but like someone who does what I do, or Masayanella, or like Luca Jin, Nintendo Capri Sun, Proton John on a good day, Josh Jepson, Attacking Toucans, them. Like, they're like, them, in my opinion, they're Let's Players. But not someone, like, typically, the easiest sort of, like the quickest way to sort of like the oversimplification for it is, do they use facecam? Then probably not. Like, obviously there are some Let's Players who do use facecam, and that's fine. Like, typically that's a dividing line. Essentially, it depends if their focus is on the game or their reactions to it. So, if they're more interested in you watching their reactions than they are with showcasing the game, then I'd say, generally speaking, they're not a Let's Player. Whereas if they're interested in showing off the game and, like, augmenting it with their own experiences with it, then I'd say they are. PBG, I'd say he's a reviewer who Let's Plays on the side. But I would say his content, like, his gameplay content, like, both with and without Jeff, is, like, the good Jeff, the one good Jeff. I would say that mostly does qualify as Let's Plays, in my opinion. And, like, obviously this is all opinion, like, people are free to disagree. This is just how I quantify it in my brain. But I'd say certainly he is more of it than some others, anyway. So, right, so, my one question, though. With Jacksepticeye, does he, does he do an entire series based on a game as well? Or does he just do one part of a game which would take multiple parts to complete and then just leave it there? Because, like, PewDiePie does that, Markiplier does that sometimes. And, like, that's another thing that non-Let's Players who call themselves Let's Players do. Where they're like, oh, hey, here's my Let's Play of Property Ping, and then they only do one part of it, and they don't even number it part 1, they're just like, oh, hey, this is my Let's Play of that game, and it lasts about 5 minutes, and it's just them screaming into the facecam. Like, that, I take almost as an insult for, like, the sort of thing that I do compared to what they do. So, I don't know. So, like I said, that's just how I quantify it, but I know that the people are going to... Yeah, you see, I can like, get behind someone not necessarily 100%ing a game, but as long as they at least play to the end, or what can be perceived to be an end, then that's okay. Because, like I said, I'm not really familiar with his stuff. I've seen the All The Way remix, and I've seen his, I think it was with Matthias, the, Finish My Sentence challenge, and that was it. So, yeah. And, like, with Markiplier, for example, a lot of his stuff is, like, serious enough. A lot of his stuff, I think, like, he rarely does Let's Plays but calls himself a Let's Player. Or, he doesn't routinely, certainly not the same way that I do, but he does on occasion. He at least refers to them as Let's Plays, and that's not necessarily what they are, in my opinion. But, I love that we're having this discussion at such length, by the way. But, like, for example, his... I don't even want to call it a Let's Play of Honey Pop, even though it does tick all the boxes for what I would consider to be a Let's Play, because that was him being, like, I poured my heart into my coverage of Honey Pop, which I know is kind of a lowbrow example of a game, but I put so much sort of sincerity into my thing of it, and obviously I get next to no views for it because my channel is relatively unknown. And then when Markiplier did his, it gets like 50,000 views from the word go just because it's Markiplier, even though it's him shouting and screaming and objectively not understanding the game in any way, shape or form, and then being salty when it doesn't go his way, and just generally... Like, he doesn't do the game justice, but he still gets celebrated for it. Which I don't want to hold against him, because for the most part he is a really good content creator. I can't help but take it at least a bit personally when he's covering a game badly that I covered well, and he's getting all the praise for it and I'm getting none. Like, I don't do YouTube to be recognized as anything. I'm not gonna be a salty bitch baby about that by any means. It's just, it seems a bit insulting. And I want to say there was something else as well at some point where I started a Let's Play, and then like 2 or 3 parts in, some bigger YouTuber started doing the same game. And I don't want to say, oh, they're stealing my views, because of course YouTube, it's a free creative platform that anyone can do whatever they want on, and I'm not going to deny that. But like, I still can't help but be slightly kind of, that like, they're doing a thing that I was doing, and if people search for this game, now only their name is going to come up, and I'm not going to, even if I do it better. And yeah, that's tragic but true. That's actually a really wise way of looking at it. And like, thing is, it's difficult for me to talk about this because it'll sound, no matter what, like I'm being a salty bitch baby who wants to... Like, it makes it sound like I'm only doing YouTube for the accolades and the money. I don't get money, like I said. I would like money for what I do, but I don't get money for what I do. And, you know, I don't do it for the recognition, although I do like it. I've never been recognized, like, I've not been, like, out and about and someone's been like, oh my god, you're Tessellating Hexagons. In fact, I've had the exact opposite of that happen to me once. When I was at Eurovision The Party with Europe Scalo 8, there was a Swedish guy who was just like, oh, hey, are you from Croatia and Cyprus because you're waving Croatian and Cypriot flags? And we weren't, and we had a nice conversation with him. His name was David, and, you know, we took some selfies. And he was like, oh, so you do YouTube? Well, take your jacket off so you can actually show your shirt to people, because otherwise we can't see it. And I was like, okay, fair point. I took my jacket off. And so, you know, I was like, he recognized me and then my channel rather than my channel and then me. So like I said, it's just disheartening to know that, like, I'm doing content and it's not going to come up in the YouTube algorithm because someone else is doing it and they have more subscribers, so they're going to be more viewed. So, as I said, I don't want to take it personally, and I don't want it to sound like I'm taking it personally. It's just on occasion it comes across as disheartening for me. But I still do it. I don't stop. I don't get disheartened. Did I mention that Joth is a really good artist, and I will plug all of your stuff? One thing that I saw, and, like, this is something that I wanted to bring up, but I didn't really know what the right platform for it was, but... So, fairly recently, Joth, on her art blog, actually posted some, not all, but, like, quite a lot of the art that I used for the end slates of my Portal 2 series with her. Thank you, Salison, and thank you, Anton, and thank you, Joth, as well, and thank you. Thank you so many. Yeah, Joth posted a load of art from the Portal 2 series, which is really good, by the way, it's really good. And I think it got 7 notes altogether. And then, like, this is going to sound creepy, but I do actually, like, I have a whole load of like, tabs that I open when I first boot up my computer every day. I check all the same, like, websites, and 2 of those are Joth's, like, regular blog and her art blog. And one day I discovered that this post that had 7 notes has now gone down to 6 notes. How did someone unreblog something? I'm taking that personally on your behalf, which I know I shouldn't. But yes, do check out your stuff. And that is true. That like, these streams would, I guess, get crowded, because like if I were to if I did get, like, a whole load of subscribers who, like, all regularly turned out to streams and stuff, then I would, like, I guess, I can see that's a thing. And also, this is me just blindly searching for the next silo, because apparently they're random. You know what, Joth, I absolutely would recommend you doing commissions, because you're really good. But like, if I had more subscribers, then I would, like, do Patreon and stuff, because that's something that I have been thinking about doing. Like, I've been thinking about it on and off for several years now, and the thing that's always been stopping me is that I don't know what I'd offer as, like, tier perks and whatever. So, I would like to, and if I had more subscribers, then that might justify it. Like, if I had, like, a general public server on Discord, and then, like, a test Patreon subscriber server, for example, but that kind of already exists in the form of the YSC Discord. Yeah, I could make the YSC paid subscription participation only, but that would be a little bit illegal, I think. Right, hang on, what do I do here again? Oh yeah. Clever puzzles. Hang on, what does what imply? Oh, right, yeah. So, yeah, I would like to do Patreon, but I don't know what the tier rewards would be. Whereas, if I had more subscribers, then I could have like a... Like how YouTube has this thing they call Super Chat, where you can pay to have your, like, chat message, like, posted to the top of a stream thing for people to see for a while. And so, like, I could set something like that up, like, have a separate, like, separate chat that appears, like, on a like, I could have 2 chat streams going at once, for example, like, one that's just Patreon people, and then one that's, like, the general public, and it's only the Patreon people that actually appear in the stream, but I don't have enough people to justify that. And honestly, I don't think there is a single Andorran entry that I don't like, to be true, and honest, and real. Like, honestly, my favourite Andorran entry is 2005, and everyone hates that one, and I don't know why, because it's really good. There we go. And then I stand there. Oh, and then that's that. Yeah, Suzanne Georgie, or Georgie, whatever. Her, Susanna. She is part Danish, yes. And 2005, oh no, hang on. No, that's, no, hang on. No, hang on. I'm getting them mixed up, I think. But there's a part Danish one, and then there's a... This is the area I was talking about, by the way. Like, when I completed this area on my Let's Play, I went and tweeted the developers of this game because this area is really good. So, yeah, because I'm just remembering, now this is going to bother me, because I know all the words to, La Mirada Interior, but I don't remember the name of the person who performed it. This one here, Sharon. I didn't realise until the end of this area in my Let's Play, but Sharon, as in, like, the moon of Pluto or whatever, and also, like, Charon, the ferryman across the river Styx, I think it is, or like something from mythology anyway to do with the afterlife, because this area is purgatory. Or it's representative of purgatory anyway. And what I really appreciated is, this first half is like all happy and smiley, we're collecting light energy and like their relation to positive emotions. And then the second half of this area is all dark and like stormy as opposed to rainy, and it's got negative emotions and dark energy, and that it, like, that I feel like is related to the Buddhist concept of the Bargo, which is, or the Bardo, rather. Yeah, Bargo the Victor. Yeah, and, where you're supposed to spend 2 weeks with the nice deities, and then 2 weeks with the vengeful deities, or 1 week with each, I don't remember. But then, you achieve true enlightenment by passing through the dark half of the Bardo, and then it turns out that the vengeful deities are just the friendly deities in disguise. And once you pass through both of those and you don't let it get to you, then you achieve enlightenment. Which I learned from Cursed Mountain, funnily enough. Oh, whoops. Yeah, 2 hours 10. I've been going for a while. This is one of my longest... I think this is going to be my longest stream that isn't a Test Talks, which I haven't done one of those in ages, and I make no apologies for that. I may bring them back at some point. They're not completely dead. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know if you have to get every single emotion in this area. So I suppose this is a fun thing that I could try now. Because there are 8 altogether, and I think you only need 6, but I don't know for certain. Because it doesn't confirm. Like, there isn't a thing saying, oh, you got enough emotions, so... Now, this is really cool, because, like, it does that. That happens. Yeah. Problem with Test Talks is... I don't have anything to say on them anymore. And, I mean, aside from that, there's also... this area is really pretty, by the way, I should mention, but... Yeah, stop ice physicsing and jump when I press it to jump. Oh, well, Jackbox, yeah, does that count as Test Talks, though? Because that's more like Test Jackboxes. That said, they are doing Jackbox Party Pack 4 later this year, and I am so down to stream that when it happens. But anyway... See, the first one I watched was the final of 2007, and then the final of 2008, and then the semis of 2009, and, you know, it wasn't until, like, 2008 that I properly started forming well, I think 2009 was when I properly started forming memories of the contest, but I started watching in 2007. But I didn't start watching the semis until 2009, so... And the other thing that I've not done in ages, that no one seems to be missing, are my monthly vlogs, which haven't been monthly for a while. But that's 'cause I haven't really had time. But I asked for my birthday to get a DSLR camera, and as far as I know, that is happening. At the moment, I did have doubts, maybe my father, wouldn't be able to afford to get one, because, I know, times are tough economically, we sort of need to be a bit more frugal, if that's the right word. So, I can understand it if we don't get one. But then he, yesterday or the day before, he was talking about it like that was a thing that he'd already procured, which I don't think he has. But, if that is the case, then I'm absolutely gonna get back into vlogging, because I'll have a decent camera to do it with. That's it's good quality. It's not just my phone. I mean, the phone that I use as a camera is actually really good quality. But, it's a phone. I can't, set it up on a tripod or anything. I've set it up on a tripod before, but, I've had a camera tripod that's had, a stack of books on it, and then also, a toast rack, which is what I've been, that's... If ever you see anything, any live-action footage on my channel that's above 480p, then that will have been filmed on my phone, held in place by the same toast rack. So, fun fact. I'm just reading the chat again. See, in the years that I've watched, since I started watching the final, I would watch the whole thing, voting and all, but as I said, I don't really remember anything before 2009, really. Because that's when I started watching the semi-finals. And my mother actually didn't start watching the semi-finals until 2010, weirdly enough. But my father and I watched the 2009 semi-finals. And I remember thinking that, wow, Montenegro 2009 is the most Eurovision song ever. And back then, I meant it as a compliment. Now I think that's kind of not a thing to be proud of, because, people in this country have really low opinions of Eurovision, and it's kind of my job in life to change that. That's what I'll be doing with my degree when I get it. Also, belatedly, thanks for the time check as well, because obviously I'm aiming for the beat the game in under 5 hours achievement, so... I think we started watching national finals in our household as of, I want to say 2013, I think. I kind of think that 2000, I know... Right, 2007 was my first year watching a final. 2009 was my first year watching semi-finals. 2010 was the first time I watched semi-finals with both of my parents at the same time. 2011 was my first year, actually following the contest on the website. 2012 was the first year that I followed every country from the beginning, and 2013 was the year that I first started watching national finals, and then 2014 was when I started reviewing them, and then here we are. Yeah. Stop being a pinball booper. Bad news for all of us. Oh, my degree is, I believe it's a Bachelor of Arts Honours degree in Creative Media Production, but, because we don't have majors and minors in the UK, but, the two modules that I'm doing for my final year are TV production and radio production, so, functionally, it'll be a Creative Media Production degree, well, an honours degree, which I think is worth more than a regular degree, and so I'll be an honours Bachelor of Arts who didn't but might as well have majored in TV and radio. So, just a cool story there. The thing is, I feel like I'm going to end up, plateauing out at some point. At some point, I feel like I'm going to get really jaded with Eurovision, and, I'm not going to do a Terry Wogan, because he was, not a good, but... I feel like at some point I am going to be okay, I need to take a break. I'm not going to take a year out or anything, but there are going to be years where I don't do as much Eurovision content because, between that and doing my Eurovision radio show for, that's the thing that I'm doing next year as well, and, all the other stuff, eventually I am going to hit terminal velocity and be okay, I need to not do as much stuff some years. Which is why, that's why I tried doing junior Eurovision reviews and it just didn't work out because it was just too much for me to do as a workload, even though, it's all really spread out for the junior contest. But I might do junior Eurovision reviews this year, which, to that you might say, oh, but Tess, Russia's already chosen theirs, you've not reviewed it. Well, you're right. But, if I do that, then, hang on. How did that sentence start? I might do junior Eurovision reviews with a caveat that I might do them, like, in the, like, 2 weeks running up to the contest, rather than... Hang on, I need you to poke me. Thank you. Poke me. Thank you. But, like, instead of doing them the day after each song's chosen, I might do all of them, like, one a day every single day for, like, 2 weeks or whatever, how many songs there are. Yeah, I suppose that would have been a good idea for the Russia, because, like, I did have some ideas, and, because my mother is, like, she's having a thing done to her spine in, like, a couple of days, I think, now, and, like, she has a wheelchair. She doesn't, like, 100% need it for everything, but, like, she has a wheelchair that she uses if she's going out, and, like, mostly she uses crutches, but she also has a wheelchair, and we thought maybe we could have her in a wheelchair, and I could, and she'd be like, oh, hey, I'm going to take part in Eurovision this year, and then I would turn up wearing the flag of Ukraine and just wheel her off screen saying, it's time for you to go. And we were like, yeah, maybe some Russian people might find that offensive, and so we didn't do that in the end. See, I like what I did do in the end. And, I'll answer that in a second, Alison. Now, one thing, though, about my Eurovision in however many seconds videos, that I do want to do every year, because those are a lot of fun to make. I mean, they're absolutely, like, really difficult to make. They take a while, but they are a lot of fun. But the thing is, with the 2015 one, I got sort of caught in a wall there. There were people who were like, oh, hey, in 2015, where was Romania? Like, one person commented that ironically, that, like, they were being jokeful, and then someone else legit didn't understand why Romania wasn't there, but it was. Like, Romania literally was there, just sort of, like, half transparent, because obvious jokes, like, you know, sound of silence, moment of silence, they were both there on the same screen, but he was half visible because he only half took part, by which I mean he didn't take part at all. Ugh. Anyway, since I never reviewed it, what do I think of Ireland's junior Eurovision song? 2016, surely. Because Ireland hasn't picked their song for this year yet, surely. Honestly, I didn't think that Brika Evrika was as good as Rael Tanamara, which I really liked. Like, that was my 10 points consistently in the previous year. But, Brika Evrika, like, it was alright. It felt like it was written by this... Like, I don't know if it was, I never actually checked. I feel like it was written by the same people who wrote Sunlight. Like, it sounded the same kind of... Like, it had the same sort of artificial drums. And I did recently go back and watch Zena's live performance, and her live performance wasn't great, especially compared to what I know she's capable of as an artist. So, it wasn't a terrible song by any means. But I don't think it was great. I also think that, I think that Zena's song from the previous year was better, but it was still good. It was still a fine song, and it worked better than Sunlight did. But it sounded like it was very much cut from the same cloth. But I maintain, Junior Eurovision 2016, Albania was robbed as fuck. And do I ever script some of my videos? Bitch, I script all my videos. Well, no. All my Eurovision reviews, I do completely script in advance. And that's kind of funny to me, because there was someone who's like, oh my god, don't script your videos, Tess, ever. And I'm like, I've been scripting them since day one. Well, it's kind of an asterisk to that. I script the Eurovision reviews. What I mean by that is, I write my notes for them, but because I write notes in, like, long-form prose, that just ends up being my script. But I do improvise some of it as well. So there is some unscripted improv in there as well. Like, for example, when I, like, with Norway this year, when I was like, oh, seize the day, seize the night, seize that ass, that was unscripted. But there, like, the mentioning of, oh, yeah, don't question how I know how to say seize that ass in Latin, like, that was scripted, but the other bit wasn't. So my Eurovision stuff is scripted. Like, my Let's Play stuff obviously isn't. My vlogs aren't. Like, maybe I should script my vlogs, to be honest. Because I do those frequently enough, don't I? And I died. Did it save that I did this? I'm going to check. I don't think it did. Boo, I need to redo that upper area again, because I didn't hit a check point. Because I was being too careless over here. But anyway, so I maybe should do. Oh yeah, and the obviously Eurovision in 100 seconds video, or I say 100. The first one was coincidentally 100. It was never my intention to make it exactly 100 seconds. Those are semi-scripted in that I write down what I want each country's kind of joke to be, and a lot of the time that is just all I end up saying, but occasionally I might change it up while I'm filming. But yeah, Let's Play stuff, totally unscripted. Streams, obviously unscripted, but beyond that, yeah. I have seen comments before saying, oh my god, Tess, you should never script your videos, as if I, like, talking as if I don't already. But I do, and that kind of tickles me, because I'm like, did you really think that I spout all this perfect prose off the top of my head? That's how I keep things so structured. And for that matter, I am going to shake up the structure of my reviews as of this coming year as well, this next Eurovision season. I'm going to change it up a little bit, so you're getting the exclusive scoop right now for those of you who are still watching the stream at this point. Or for those of you watching the archive, I got your number. I'm going to be doing, like, I'll be doing the same, like, you know, first impressions and, like, okay, for the coming year, as I previewed with the review of Armenia, I'm going to be doing, like, rather than what I like, what I dislike, it's going to be you might like, you might not like, because every year I'm trying to make that more and more, like, neutral sounding, so people can't take objection, because, like, good points and bad points, those are always supposed to be, in my opinion, good points and bad points, but people took those to be, like, hard and fast, these are the good things, these are the bad things, you can't like this because I said it was a bad point, or whatever. And then this year I changed it to what I like, what I dislike, and that, again, like, isn't really the best description for it, because there are some things that I liked, but I still had to put as a negative point, 'cause, like, it was technically a negative point, but I still liked them. And is this here? Okay. And the other one that I'm going to be changing up is, like, I'm probably still going to do the ratings out of 10, both personal opinion and technical, but what I'm going to be changing is I'm not going to be doing compared to last year anymore, but what I will be doing instead is this country moving in the right direction? So rather than pitting 2018 versus 2017, I'm going to be saying, okay, this is 2018, this is this country's previous entry, put them together, do they make the right, like, is this a good thing for this country altogether? Is this a step forward? Is this a step back? Rather than hard and fast, which one's better? Because there was so many this year where I was like, oh, but they're both really good, because they've been getting progressively really good, all of them. So, nya. At this point, I actually do need to check where is the air bomb silo. So I could pull that up on the overworld now. Need to see where it is. I know it's going to be on the northern continent somewhere, because the... Okay. Because the Earth Bomb Silo and the Earth Geome are both on the southern continent, and the Sea Geome and the Sea Bomb Silo are on the northern continent, and with the Air Geome, it's one and the other. Okay, Total T, good evening. So, with the Air Geome, the Bomb Silo is on the northern continent, and the Geome itself is on the south continent. So, that should be, like, here. Huh, literally just a stone's throw away from the... Yeah, these are definitely randomized then, because that's like in my Let's Play, these were not, like, within visible distance of the other silo. This is the one with the locky doors that make no sense. So, I've gone through a magic gate that permanently locks my shield into that position. Shall I go through another gate? How would that work in terms of, like, actual science? How are they making me hold my shield beyond my will? Actually, funny thing about how that's worded, Anton, as well. Ever since I was a child, like, obviously times have changed, and now, because I go to bed a lot later than my parents, I put them to bed rather than the other way around. But that's the thing, like, we say to each other, have a good sleep, even though the normal thing to say in English is good night, but for some reason, when I was a child, I didn't like that being said to me, and so we developed have a good sleep instead. So, that's a thing that we say, and that most people don't. Fun little Tess fact there. Oh, now we're down to, like, 4 people watching. a tragedy, because we're, like, most of the way done with the game at this point. Like, I'm just coming up on, like, just under 2.5 hours, and we're making really good time. To such an extent that there's no point me doing a second stream of this next week, because look, like, we're most of the way done at this point. There's this, there's the air geome, there's the mini dungeon before the air geome, and then there's the final dungeon, and that's it. Right. Do I reckon Kazakhstan's going to debut? I don't think it'll be 2018. I would like it if they were to, but I don't think so. Kosovo is kind of a possibility because they said they're looking into it, but there are some countries opposing it, and overall, technically, RTK doesn't meet the specifications to take part in Eurovision, but they might make an exception just because, oh, well, you did it for Australia, so why don't you do it for the so-and-so country as well? And that's kind of, like, fair enough. They might make a little exception for them. Because, like, as I said, Eurovision, my mentality is always the more the merrier. So I'd like to see Kazakhstan in, I'd like to see Kosovo in, not for political reasons, but just because I want to see more countries take part. And as for Liechtenstein, well, I do happen to know that one FLTV, the Liechtenstein broadcaster, they do have plans to take part in Eurovision, but, like, soon, but, like, not yet. Like, I know they are, like, because they need the money to take part, but they currently can't afford it. And so they've been putting by the funds for joining the contest, but I don't believe they have enough money to do that yet. But they want to before the end of this decade. And actually, funnily enough, of all these potential debuts, the only flag that I don't have is Kazakhstan. Because I already have the flag of Kosovo, I already have the flag of Liechtenstein. So oh, that took me a moment. Why are you apologizing to Tamara? Because Liechtenstein... Oh, because keep the faith. But they are, like, actually putting money by to take part, they just don't have enough yet. That's the last I heard. And Joss, I just read that post about the whole good night routine. That's precious and adorable and nya. Meow. Anyway. We have the whole cactus juice side quest coming up. Well, it's not really a side quest because it's required, but you know. We need to go and douse ourselves in cactus candles. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. Pardon me while I twerk against the side of this rock. Where do I buy all my flags? I have a website. Well, there is a website that I use. And I don't remember what it's called offhand. But weirdly enough, like, I didn't even check this when they, like, when I first discovered them, but they are based in the UK. They can do same-day shipping, but I don't, like, bother with that. But yeah, there is a website that I use, and they, like, they just do flags in various different sizes. I've only ever had 2 problems with them. One was when I, like, you might see in my older videos, I did once, I ordered the flag of Macedonia from them, but when they delivered it, it was the flag from, like, 1991, 92. Like, it was the one with the Virginia sun on it, I think. And obviously, I can't use that because it'll, like, both Greece and Macedonia would take, like, exception. Because, like, oh, no, you can't use this. It's not the right flag. It means this to our country. You can't do this. So, like, they gave me the wrong flag. And I had to get my current flag from Amazon. And, yep, it has just ticked over to the 22nd of June where I am, so happy Thursday, everyone. I think this is the first stream to actually go overnight, or, like, change. Yay. This is the first stream that I've had that actually runs over a dateline. I don't know if they have every version of the Spanish flag, so remind me after the stream and I'll send it to you on Discord. Because, yeah, the only other bad time that I had with them was that, I asked for the old flag of Libya, because, like, they specified, do you want the new one or the old one? And I wanted the old one so I could use it as a mini green screen, and they sent me the new one instead, which I'm not going to complain too much, because, I mean, I can add the flag of Libya to my collection. And then I ended up getting, like, a full-size green screen for 99p, because it was, like, a stupid, sort of, like, really massive price reduction on Amazon, so that worked out well. But I'll send a link to you over Discord later, and I will check after this. Fear not. Also, one thing that this game absolutely does deserve credit for, and I mentioned it in my Let's Play, and I should probably emphasize it now, it's Wormhole Thursday, as opposed to Bone Meal Tuesday or Milky Meme Wednesday. Or that, I think that was Milky Meme Tuesday, or whatever. This game deserves so much credit, because when you're, like, selecting an option on a menu, you have to hold down the button, not just press it. And I feel like that's a small thing, but, like, no other game that I know of does it. Like, the only other game that I know that comes close are the 2 half-minute hero games, where if you have an option in a menu, then it'll start, like, the cursor will start in between the 2 options, so you can't select either without first, like, pressing up and then selecting, or pressing down and selecting. So, I like that this game, like, has a way of, so you don't accidentally pick a thing that you didn't mean to. Anyway, we went down there, and now we smell of cactus. So, we can hide inside this cactus fruit and travel to the air geome by pretending to be a cactus. Much like me, because sometimes I like to dye my hair green and sit in the corner and pretend I'm a broccoli. Yeah, well, time zones aren't canon, because I'm Britain. We invented the time zone. Anyway, air geome. We have, like, fireworks and stuff. See, this is what Starlight Carnival should have looked like in Sonic Colors, except maybe a bit less fleshy. You know, Fleshy the guinea pig. Yeah, you see, I thought maybe I would be worth being clever, but alas, they sent the wrong Libyan flag. But the thing is, I ended up getting, like, a proper, official, actual green screen for a lot cheaper anyway, which I know that's saying something, because, like, these flags, I think, are... Fuck! I've never done that before! Okay, so... I have, like, a proper green screen made of green screen material, which was, like, stupidly reduced on Amazon. So, I've never actually been able to use it, because it's huge, I have nowhere to hang it, I have no way of hanging it up, and it's actually kind of thin as well, and I don't really have really... Well, last time I tried, I didn't have really good green screen software. I mean, I do have something at the moment that I use that can do green screen stuff, but it's very limited. But I've since got different editing software, which I hardly ever use, because, like, I'm familiar with the stuff that I currently use, and, like, what I use at the moment works just fine for me. But this other editing software at least claims to have a lot better green screen stuff, which is fair enough, because it has, like, Yes, I can. Like, it does, like, the editing software that I use at the moment, like, if you want to crop something, you can only crop it, like, to a rectangle. You can't, like, do, like, curves or, like, custom shapes. And similarly, you know, it doesn't do custom masking, if that means anything to any of you. Like, it only works in rectangles, which is really limiting. But this other software that I've since got, I believe can do it a lot better, so... Yeah, also Yoshi's Island blocks. That's what I called them in the Let's Play, and that's what I'm sticking to. Because that's how they work, is like Yoshi's Island. Does it sound like my throat is dying? Because my throat is actually slowly dying here. Now, because it is 4 minutes past midnight where I currently am, I do wonder, have my parents gone to bed yet? Because, that's the thing. A lot of the time, my parents go to bed at, like, a reasonable time, but sometimes they'll go to bed surprisingly early, and then other times, they'll go, like, unexpectedly randomly late, like, as late as, like, 1 AM, which I'm sure that's just me being a bad influence, because I always end up staying up until, like, 2, half 2, maybe even 3 in the morning, just because I am a student who has no control of my life. Also, most of my friends are on the east coast of America, Joff, so I have to stay up late to be with my friends, which I know I shouldn't throw my sleep schedule out for other people, but, I mean, I've been doing it for years, so it's fine. Oh god, yeah, layers. That's one thing that's always been a problem. Well, it was always a problem until I got my current editing software. So, yeah. So I currently use Camtasia, and yeah, it's glitchy, yeah, it's garbage, but it gets the job done. So, you know, don't fight the system, it works just fine. Come on then, fighty ghost, get in my hole. If you're working for free, like, then Movie Maker is probably, like, you might as well use it, because it'll get the job done unless you desperately need layers, in which case you have to be really creative or use something else. So, you know. Like, the first... Ooh, at least the first 2, if not more, YSCs were made with Movie Maker. Or, well, Windows Movie Maker Live, if there is any difference. So, you know, that's the thing. Obviously, production values have since improved greatly, but, you know, just in case that needed clarification, which, yes, I deliberately stuttered there. What are you going to do about it? Also, I'm not bad at this room, I swear. And now we have the opposite problem, where we need to not touch the gas and yes touch the walls, rather than yes touch the gas and don't touch the walls. This room is clever, and that's why I like it. I'm just going to hang out in the gas for a second, because I have so much time to spare, bearing in mind, we just need to beat this dungeon, and then there's the final dungeon of the game, and then that's it. We're done, and we haven't even hit the 2 hour 45 mark yet, and the achievement is for beating it in 5 hours, so I'm surprised we're getting this all done in one stream, to be honest. So, woobledy-boobledy-beebedy-boo. Bippity-boppity squared. At this point, I kind of want to sort of fill the air of the stream by coming up with another one of those, like, nonsense would-you-rather questions. Actually, no, here's one. And here's, like, a serious one, but it's more like would you push the button rather than would you rather. And it's that, like... So, in this case... Let's say there's a hypothetical button, and if you were to push it, push it real good, then you would get, like, a bank account that has all the money that you would ever need in your life in it. But the caveat is you would not know if what you're spending money on currently is accounted for in that account, if that makes any sense. Like, say for example, you had like 500 of your local money, and then you go out and buy a pair for 10 money. You don't know whether that bank account deems that as, like, a thing that you needed to buy, or if you use it now, then you will not have 10 money later that you needed to spend on something that cost 10 money. If that makes any sense at all. Because in that case, I'm not sure if I would press the button, because it would be like a self-fulfilling prophecy of despair. Like, you might press the button, and then get, Yeah, you're not allowed to add or subtract from that. Well, you're allowed to subtract that money. You're not allowed to add to that money through any other supplementary sources. But that might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, you might, I don't know. You might press the button and then realize that you've got, like, 10p or, like, 1 Danish kroner. And then you're like, oh my god, I can't live off this, and then you die, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Wow, you only needed that 1 Danish kroner to buy a plastic bag, and then you die. So it's, it accounts for what you need for a happy life, and so that can, like, theoretically, that could mean, like, oh, video games and stuff, but you don't know which video games it deems to be an essential must-buy. So it's like, necessities plus. Yay, that shouldn't have worked, but it did. Yay. That's a devious puzzle. I don't like it, and I love it. It's a good thing that the stream's sort of winding down, because I'm running out of words to say. Yeah. See, that's a scenario that I came up with, like, last night while I was trying to get to sleep, and because of how bad the weather's been, it's been really difficult to sleep lately because it's too hot. Well, excuse you. I was introduced to it courtesy of some Swedes, so English by way of Sweden, but also I'm not especially trying. So you shut up. I think it's adorable the way Danish people say the word cube, and they don't even say it in any particularly weird way. It just comes out adorably, like cube. I don't even know what you do to the word, but like, I've heard like 3 Danish people all try to say the word cube, and they don't say it wrong, they just say it cutely, so 2 can play at that game. Roiga, Groiga, Mefroiga, even though that's absolutely, it's really good midfield. Anyway. Like, I was trying to come up with, like, more bullshit would-you-rather questions, and then that one appeared in my head, so I'm sort of proud of how that came out in the end. The thing I'm most impressed with, though, is, like, I've been trying to teach my mother little bits and pieces of... I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not going to murder you if you do or you don't, but it does come out really cutely. So just be forewarned, you will be adorable, and there's nothing you can do about that. I've been teaching my mother how to speak little bits of Swedish, and, like, for example, how to count to 10. And for some reason, whenever my mother tries to speak any language that isn't English, she sounds Italian, except when she tries to speak Italian, where she sounds German. I don't know why that is. But the one exception to all of this is she can say the Swedish word for 3 beautifully perfectly. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it just comes out as 3, like, but better. She could do it so well. But, like, as I was saying, like, I don't know how well I could do it because I've studied too many languages to be consistent, but the way she does it, I can guarantee is perfect. But not that you'd know, because you're Danish. Ha! According to Scandinavia and the world, Danes are Dane devils, Norwegians are mountain monkeys, and the meanest name that they have for Swedes are just Swedes. I wonder if my parents are, like, not downstairs, like, in the next room wanting me to really shut up so they can go to sleep. But also, I think we all know the Swedish word for 6. And Icelandic, for that matter, I think. But yeah, you could totally cheese this puzzle just by going back and just doing this. I mean, that pod there is kind of to catch you out just in case, but yeah. Also, I meant to mention, and I never actually did, but so, you know how I streamed Anodyne a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't get the achievement I was going for? Well, I went back and played it on my own time, and I tweeted about it on Twitter, as opposed to tweeting about it on Tumbleboob. And I did get the achievement that I was going for on stream. And also, another little trick to this room, you could just get the banana and just go up the wall here. Smoke 6 every day. Thing is, if you charge up on just enough blue energy, then you can actually just jump up this wall and once again completely cheese the puzzle. Which is hilarious, really. Because yeah, now I could just do that and just climb around the puzzle. Yeah, it's something, Denmark. You still call it sex, but it's something. And that's the thing. With Swedish, 5 and 6, like, if you have to say 5, 6 in Swedish, it comes out as fem sex, and it's spelled as such. And the way that my Latin teacher taught us to remember how to remember the numbers for 5 and 6 in Latin was to remember it as kinky sex. I mean, it's quinque and then sex, but still, kinky sex. So that's the thing. I used to know how to count to 10 in Latin, but unlike with any other language that they teach at GCSE level over here in the UK, like, in any other language, they'll teach you all the basics, like how to count to 10, how to say different colours, and like all the basic stuff. In Latin, no. They just drop you right in with the hard stuff, teach you how to read classical poetry, and then it takes until like the 3rd year before they're like, oh, hey, maybe we should teach you how to count as well, that might be helpful. So, funny story. German is actually the language that I've studied for the longest, well, not counting English. German is the language that I've studied for the longest period of time in my life, because I think I studied German for 7 years, I want to say. Because it was, in high school, starting in, okay, so year 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So yeah, 7 years. Spanish was for 4 years, I think, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, no, 5. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. French was 7, 8, and 9, so 3 years. And Latin was 7 through to 11, so 5 years. And Japanese was years 11 and 12 and 13, rather. So, yeah. Now, off the top of my head, I don't remember what no is in Latin, but I know that yes is itavero, like ITA space VERO. I can, but like I don't have as much confidence speaking it out loud as I used to, just because I haven't spoken it for several years. But like, at least pen and paper, I've studied it, and I can write in German. I can write in German a lot better than I can speak. I don't know how my accent is, and honestly, I wouldn't want to put myself through it. Like, I've never studied Italian and I'd rather speak Italian live. But, like, that's not meant as an insult, that's just as a... I feel like I would butcher it. Even though I have, like, past exams and stuff in German. But, yeah. And then we just take a moment to consider the universe. Though I did take the time to, like, at some point when I was doing my A-levels, which is, like, the UK, like, what we call college in the UK, which is, like, what Americans call high school, I think. So, that's the last 2 years before university. I did take my time, take time to look up, like, the mental condition that I have. I looked up how to say it in Spanish and in German. So, I could say that at least. So, actually, I don't remember if I actually remember it. I think in German it's just vermeidende Persönlichkeitsstörung, and then I feel like I just sounded really cute in German just then. And then Spanish is trastorno de la personalidad por evitación. And then in English it's just plain old avoidant personality disorder. I am literally Squidward. Even the ocean. Drop the title, drop the microphone, drop the bass, drop the bass. So I could speak I could communicate hypothetically well in German. So that there is that at the very least. But then garnet plus pizza equals take a moment to think of just pepperoni and cheesy crust. Well, I mean, it's only fair because every single time that I've heard German people speaking English, it sounds really adorable. Because, like, I don't know how accurate it is, but, like, even, like, sentences that have, like, loan words from foreign in them. Like, if you're to say in German, oh no, where is my mobile phone? It comes out as, ach, wo ist mein Handy? And that's just so cute! Pizza! Whipped cream pouring like waterfalls. Because that was a thing. What, would you rather I called it Pisa? The Leaning Tower of Pisa. And I can do poetry as well. In fact, yesterday, well, actually, because the date's changed, the day before yesterday was actually the 5th anniversary of me placing second in a regional poetry competition. Because you know how Facebook has that on this day thing where it shows a load of posts from the same day? Well, yeah, I came second in a poetry slam once. I feel like, well, it wasn't a poetry slam, it was like we write poetry and then, like, it was judged by people. And I feel like if they based the judging on our performances, then I would have won. But I came second because the other guy had this really long, boring, like, nope. Like, the limit was 25 lines. This was more than 25 lines. And it was like, there were so many ooh, thous, and ooh, is there something about Mount Olympus? Blah, 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 blah. And mine was just, like, short, punchy, sort of like beatnik poetry that people would snap their fingers to. And if, like, the only thing that I didn't do was, like, I kind of wanted to end it by, like, shouting bitch, because it was, like, that sort of punchy, sort of aggressive poetry, and I didn't, because I was young, and it wouldn't have been appropriate. I think I did talk about this fairly recently, and, like, I think this is worth discussing, on my part. But, like, pineapple on pizza. I like pineapple, and I like pizza. And I've had pineapple on pizza, and I think it is weird. And I don't think it's an okay thing to do, but I don't dislike it. Like, I think it's morally wrong, but it still tastes nice. So, there's not really anything that's, like, I could compare it to that would be in good taste, but, like... Oh, come on, I literally just got shot by a blue. That was my whole beef there. Shoot me, oh mighty shooter. Shoot my poop. Don't shoot my poop. Don't shoot my poop with poo. What? Anyway. We might even beat the game in under 3 hours, never mind 5. So clearly this and Anodyne had the time limits the wrong way around. But then again, that might be taking into account people not playing on speedrunner mode, so that's also a possibility. You see, I'm going to need to listen to that out of context when I go back and watch the archive of this stream now. Well, yeah. Pineapple on pizza. I don't like it as a concept, but it doesn't taste bad. But it's not something that I would willingly do. Like, I'm not gonna belittle someone for doing it, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. The thing is, with pineapple on pizza, the pineapple goes sort of all soft and chewy, and it's kind of like not the pineapple experience that you want. I like that window. Zoop. Speaking of Zoop, nope, I didn't know how I was going to finish that sentence. Tomato, obviously, but like, I'm not into actual tomato as a fruit, or a salad vegetable, or whatever you want to call it. But like, oh my god, that did not go as planned at all. So, okay, Joth, see you, spoon. Happy pizza. Don't die. So, fruit on pizza in general, not really a proponent, but you can do it, if you put your mind to it, I guess. And I mean, the end of this dungeon is the end of the game, so probably not, but we do still have 2 more rooms to go, and they are fairly big rooms, so maybe. We have more of those crystal lenses to put in place, so we may be here a while yet, for I am a good strong burp of a boy. I will get you, pods. Pizza in milk. Now that can go right to hell and stay there. I mean, theoretically, there's nothing wrong with it, because it would work, but I'm just like, don't do this. Why would you do this? Corn on pizza. Never tried it. I'm not a fan. I'm okay with popcorn, but I don't like sweet corn, so I wouldn't. But I understand the theory behind it. Now, dessert pizza. Crazily American thing to do. But, like, I want to try it at some point in my life, but, like, I've never really had the opportunity to do so. So, I'm gonna die again. I need to charge up on my blues, or greens, or whatever the light energy is meant to be. I don't remember this being difficult. Sausages on pizza. Well, I'm not really the biggest fan of sausages either, to be honest. So, I mean, I've sort of grown to like them a bit more, like, comparatively recently, just as part of, like, a full breakfast. But, I mean, I'm not, like... I wouldn't do it personally, but I could see how it could be done. Now, pepperami and rice. That's a weird combination, but it works. Just throwing that one out there for general consumption. Oh yeah, I actually never finished the thought I was having earlier, but, I was talking about Anodyne before. There was, like... When I went back and got the achievement that I was going for beating Anodyne in under however much time it was. But, they'd actually, like, I think the day I did that, they'd released an update to the game, which meant that you could no longer take all damage. Like, that was a real kick in the teeth, that that's the difference between me getting the achievement and not in the end. Feeling frosty. That sure is a puzzle room. So we need to do 9 of these altogether, and that's the first of 9. But hey, I'm really terrible at estimating time. We've got 7 minutes until the 3-hour mark, and also, I suppose one thought is, I kind of do want to get good at streaming for extended periods of time, because, for one, my streams are comparatively short compared to, like, other YouTubers who stream on a regular basis. And also, like, later this year, I do intend to do, like, like, sometime around New Year, I want to do a live stream of Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, because, like, I have memories with that game at that time of year, and I kind of want to share it at that time of year on a stream, so I kind of want to be good at the long stream format by then. So that's just a thing to consider. Though those streams will probably start earlier in the day, like, just comparatively earlier, but, like, probably gonna last as long as a regular stream, but still. Like, what I don't get is, like, I like Skyward Sword and don't enjoy Breath of the Wild. Everyone else is the other way around, and I don't know why. Like, especially, I don't understand the hate on Skyward Sword. Like, yeah, it makes some mistakes, but it's definitely not the worst Zelda game out there. And, like, it's... like, I don't know, I just don't see what people hate about it. Plus, like, my philosophy is, if you ever have trouble with the motion controls, then you are the problem. Just because, like, I've never had trouble with them. So, clearly, if anyone else does, they are the problem. That's all. Anyway, I'm glad that we have such a friendly discussion and environment and stuff going on in the chat. Oh, yeah. I should have mentioned, I'm kind of hoping that Clever Pigeon is still here, but if not, then that's something that I meant to mention to them. But that's one thing about this game. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, OBS hates this game. I'm having to, like, what you're currently seeing is OBS looking at a region of my desktop rather than the actual game window, so, like, trying to play this game through my streaming software, is, like, it doesn't work. Like, it will see one frame of the game and then freeze on that permanently, so that's a thing. I expect that to be horizontal. Now, Twilight Princess, I don't know, like, certainly it's aged in such a way where it's so obviously an homage to Ocarina of Time. Like, it's, like, that part at the very least hasn't aged well. I think the HD, like, remake of it thing, like that, I think that was decently handled, I suppose. I've never actually played it. My only experience with it is with Josh and Tyler's versus of it, which that's been going. That certainly has. Oh, actually, speaking of versuses, I don't know if I think, Anton, did you watch that when it was a thing? Super Mario Galaxy versus. That is going to be a thing on this channel again fairly soon, because I was talking to Yuki just earlier today, and he was saying how he's saving up for university, so he's had to sell his Wii U, and so Galaxy along with it. But he does still have a Wii, and he has a copy of Galaxy, like a physical copy, so he might still be able to like, if he can get his recording, like, he has to use a different recording bit of hardware from usual, because like his Elgato, like, he has a different model of the Elgato from me, so he can't he can record a Wii U but not a Wii with it. So he has to double check that his recording hardware can record from a Wii, and if so, then we're going to basically batch record the rest of that entire series, and then I didn't actually need to bring this lens with me, did I? That's okay. Well, anyway, we intend to batch record the rest of that series, and I'm not even going to upload the first, well, the 14th part of that until we have the whole series recorded, so that never happens again. So yeah, we are gonna bring that back. And oh wow, see, there was a time in my earlier streams where people would ask me that basically every week. So back in 2013, I'd really gotten into YouTube, and I'm just like, oh, I kind of want to be a YouTuber. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want to be a YouTuber. And I'm like, okay, but if I do that, I am going to need to have a decent YouTube name. And so I was like, it was in the back of my mind, okay, keep looking into possible YouTube names. And I was in a chemistry class, because I used to study chemistry, and after, like, this was my first year of college. I dropped it after that first year because the teacher was hot garbage. And she mentioned, like, we were doing something about, like, chemical displayed formula, you know, how, like, when you have, like, the lines with the chemical symbols between them, to show how, like, a molecule is structured. And she was just like, oh, hey, there's this thing, which, oh, it looks like a honeycomb pattern. And I sat there and thought, a honeycomb? That's just a load of tessellating hexagons. And I thought, oh, that sounds like a YouTube name. And so I wrote it down, and then I used it. And funnily enough, I came up with my current logo by just randomly doodling in an English class the next year. So I'm just like, oh, hey, I can fit the letters T and H into a hexagon. Also, we've beaten the game, by the way. According to this stream, clocking in at just under 3 hours. So the time limit was 5 hours. I beat it in less than 3. Although we do still have all this cutscene to get through first. And my hands are standing by to take a screenshot if I do get the Steam achievement. Thing is... Yep, screenshot. Yep, there we go. And now we have the apocalypse. I did wonder if the game had crashed for a second there. The thing is, you don't necessarily need a name, it depends on the stuff that you do. But I knew that my stuff was, like, I wanted to be a Let's Player, and Eurovision reviews have always been, like, a side extra thing. They've never been the main focus of my channel. So, like, I wanted to have a name that was suited to a Let's Player. So, that's what I am. Like I wanted a Let's Playerly name. Because if I was just going to be a regular, like, a reviewer or whatever, then I would probably just use, like, my... Well, I don't think I'd use my regular name, because my actual real-world, like, out loud name, I'm actually kind of sick of it, to be honest. Like, I don't plan on changing it anytime soon by any means, but it's just... When I was in high school, like, some of the younger kids, like, they just discovered that I had a name, and they just kept parroting it to me over and over and over and over again, and it got so fucking annoying. Anyway, there's this, and I'm not going to talk over this because it's good. Love will be your blanket, love will be your pillow. Hold it in your heart as you sleep beneath the willow. Hush now, little babe, you may rest your drooping eyes. Sleep now, little babe, and know that you are mine. Forever you are mine. I hate that it ends on an unresolved chord like that, but anyway. Well, I never like revealing my full name in full, even though there's no reason why I shouldn't at this point, because, I mean, we know that Chaka Conroy's real name is Emiliano Rosales Biru. We know that, you know, Proton John is John Walker, I think it is. You know, Timothy Bishop, Reese Dressler, Tyler Speedwall, etc. But, well, my first name is Connor, like, C-O-N-N-O-R. No one can ever get that right, because there's the Irish spelling of the name, which is C-O-N-O-R. There's the Scottish version, which is how I spell it, C-O-N-N-O-R. And then there are English versions where they spell it with an E instead of that second O. And that's never, like, historically, culturally, that has never been a name. That is just a misspelling, which I find irritating, but whatever. Anyway, shout out to these guys, Johnny Kitaka and Sean Hantenid Chan Hogan. They're very good people. They're very talented people. Shout out to them. This game was made by 2 people. Can I just reiterate that? But, I mean, I could point out that, I have a page on TV tropes, and that's been going for years. In fact, someone actually updated it today. Just, I think all it did was reorganize the games into folders rather than it being a big old list, but if there are people out there who know TV tropes, please, keep my page updated, because at the moment, I think it's just Super Alex 641 and some random Albanian. And there's original Alif, I nearly called her Alphys, that's an entire game entirely. That's a different game entirely. An entire game entirely. And technically there is all, like, the post-game secret stuff, but I'm not going to do that on the stream. Like, we're going for over 3 hours. But yes, this is an excellent game. This is me telling friends, okay? Get this game, play it, it's good. Anyway, that's it for this game, so, yeah, return to title. And then while that's happening, I can pop over to Facecam, close the game. Okay, we did it, everyone. I got the achievement, it took 3 hours, but we did it. That means that I now have every single achievement in Even the Ocean. To be fair, the achievements are just be Act 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in full story mode, in, like, 5 achievements for, like, 1 per act in full story mode, another 5 for beating each act in turn in just gauntlet mode, which is just the levels, and then another 5 for each act in just story mode, which is just story, no platforming. And then there's one for looking at your inventory, I think, or something like that. There's one for, like, going to the art museum in Whiteforge. I think there's another one in there somewhere. And remind me on Discord and I'll send it to you. Anyway, this has been an excessively long stream. I didn't mean to go for quite this long, but hey, we did the thing. So, handshade. See, for a moment I thought handshade is like the Danish for lampshade or something, but nah, it can't be. Anyway, I am gonna wind the stream down, so I have been, and will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons. I'm gonna be around on social media, even though I should go to bed, but it's too hot to sleep, so, this is what we Brits do when we're too hot to bed. So, anyway, I need to get a drink because my throat is... Not because I'm too hot, but because my throat is dying. Anyway, thank you. It's like a special shout out to those of you who stuck to the very end. And, see you in the next thing. Thanks for watching, and good boobs.